Good evening, friends. I want to invite you to our 28th episode. We apologize that we haven't been on. We have a lot of things going on, positive and negative, and all sorts of stuff. But tonight, we have a special show. We have a special guest appearing on our show tonight. A lot of you know of him, maybe some of you don't, but the ones who do know him are going to get to know him a little bit better. So hold on to your seats, please. If you're 18 or under, parental guidance is suggested.
That's for sure.
So let's start the show and let's bless our fans.
In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. Step into the box. Tell Jimmy and Lee your sins.
Oh man, I gotta make the sign of the cross though. I gotta be honest with you, man. I love and I miss that introduction, man. I really do. That makes me feel so good when I see that. I have to say, it really does. It sets me
Nice.
it sets me up on the throne. You know, maybe I'll get a promotion at the Vatican.
Well,
We'll
it's
see.
pious. It just brings us back to our
I think
holiness.
me and Lee were back in the basement, like deep in the basement now in the Vatican, but we'll have to work our way back up, Lee.
I can't get any deeper than hell, Jimmy. So
I know. I think we're a little deeper in hell, man. I think right now we're in the basement of hell. You know, we have to work our way out, but it'll happen eventually. We'll work on it. No problem.
well, bring on our special guest, Jimmy.
All right. Well,
Yeah. I think this is going to be a lot of fun tonight.
He needs no introduction.
No, he needs no introduction, and he's going to share the confessions with us and some of our own confessions. I'm sure we're going to enlighten the fans with that too, like we always do.
Just make sure if you and him share your confessions, the statute of limitations has run out.
Yes, that's true. It is. So, yes. So, Tyler, do you want to?
ta-da!
Hey,
No.
look who
Chris
it is.
Cormier.
Who it is? The real deal, Holyfield.
Hell yeah.
What's up, fellas? What's up?
Welcome to hell.
Welcome to hell, Chris.
I finally made it.
Yes. Welcome to the party. You don't want to go
I
up there,
knew
mate. Very boring up there. You want to come down here.
I knew it was coming.
Mhm.
Hey, Chris, I've been rocking this for like
Oh, look at
I
that.
don't know how many years.
Yeah.
This shit's like vintage now. It's gotten some wear.
Chris
what's
told me.
up,
Chris told
man.
me not long ago he only sold one of them.
With the
I didn't tell
Louis.
you.
Yeah, look at that. Hang on, I gotta get the close up. Look at that Louis Vuitton. Now you can tell me. I want to know the lore behind
Louis
this.
Vuitton. Oh.
Fresh Louis bag, the face of determination. You know, are you about to high five someone? What's going on with the hand? I've
I don't
always
know what was happening that day. That was a long time ago.
Damn it! All right, the mystery
I don't
lives
know what
on.
was happening, but yeah, man. Kind of took off. It's almost like it's like part of the initiation of being professional. I have a little Louis Vuitton bag.
I was going to say you must have just won a pro show, did you, to go buy the Louis Vuitton bag?
Badass. I always rock. People are like, "Who is that?" And I'm like, "C3 TV bodybuilder."
TV,
Doing
baby.
the damn thing. Go follow him. Go cop him on
Okay.
Instagram.
I'm
Appreciate
back.
you, man.
Back.
Absolutely.
Somebody, let me tell you something. Somebody, I don't know who it is, but they sabotage me every time I come on this show. They call me and I get blocked out and I got to do the whole thing all over again. I'm gonna find out who it is, man. It's
Got
getting
it out for
ridiculous.
Can you
Yeah, they
block?
got it out for me.
It's God.
No, because it comes up no caller ID. So whoever's calling me is blocking their number, so I can't see it. So I don't know how they know when I'm doing the show.
Oh, you could push. You got an iPhone,
Yeah.
but if you swipe from the right down, this will pop up. You can put personal or work or whatever. Right here, this button right here.
Look at Chris. Chris knows all the
They
tricks.
won't be able to get you, boy.
Yeah.
Wait, so I got to swipe to the left, Chris?
Yeah, well, you're at the right corner and swipe across, and it will pop up, and then it'll be like you push it says work, personal, don't disturb, or
Really?
yeah.
Put on don't disturb. Chris
That's
knows, Chris
you
knows all
have
the
to give him the course afterwards, man.
That's all you got to do, and they won't be able to disturb you.
Chris knows. That's many years of being on those good videos. You don't want to be mid vinegar stroke and have a call come in.
Many years.
Mid video stroke.
Huh?
And now you gotta go sideways again, Jimmy.
You should have had Jimmy touch his phone, Chris.
I know. Now we're gonna. Who knows if we'll be able to get him. Jimmy, you there?
Pipe down, Jimmy. Do not disturb. You got it?
He's probably trying it right now. That's what's happening.
You doing it? He froze himself.
Hey, there he is.
Yeah.
All right.
Man, I'm not messing with it right now, Chris.
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Man,
Give him the course afterwards.
I'll teach you after.
Yeah, because I'm not really sassy and fassy and all that shit. You know? I'm like I'm like a dinosaur, bro. You know that, man.
Yeah.
I'm still a fucking caveman. You kidding me?
Shit. Hey, man. Good to see you guys. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, Chris, man.
Yeah, let's have some fun.
We love having you on, man.
Thank you.
Well, but as I was saying, I watched your show with Dennis and Milos going off about Xavier using the word revealed. And now I think I've watched 4 other podcasts about Milos going off.
I know.
Over the word revealed. I don't get it. The word revealed. It's like, I understand what Xavier was doing. He's trying to get views to help and look at it. And that's the best way, clickbait titles. But for some reason, Milos didn't like that word revealed.
But he was asking him not to do it. And he was like, I'm going to do it anyway.
That phone call he videoed was funny. You piece of shit. Fuck you. Hey, Milos is back on the trend.
You do say a lot of things you normally wouldn't say unless you do something like that. Yeah, I mean, I didn't know he was recording it, but okay.
You don't trust anyone these days if you're on a phone call.
Yeah. That's what
I haven't seen Milos since we shot that Metrics commercial, man. It's been years since I seen him.
No shit.
Yeah.
Where's
he living now? Is he living in California, Chris? Or where's he at?
Las Vegas.
What was that?
Las Vegas.
Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Everyone's in Vegas.
Yeah, you're in San Diego though, right, Chris?
San Diego, yeah.
When you move into Vegas, Chris, you've got to head out there. Everybody else is
next year.
Next
year.
I like Vegas. Vegas is okay. Yeah.
Oh, Jimmy, you like Vegas. I had your hotel room, Jimmy. I had everything set for you to come at the Olympia,
shit.
and you didn't fucking come. Don't tell
You
me
didn't
you're
come?
fucking Vegas.
Come on, Jimmy.
Oh man,
You like the West Coast, man.
I like California. I lived out there for a little bit. Had some fun.
Hey, I met you in Palm Springs. I don't know if you remember. Maybe you don't remember that far back.
I do remember Palm Springs. I remember. I remember when I first met you. That kid Jared took me to your house. You remember Jared?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I wanted to be with his old lady in the worst way, man. She was.
Damn. Yeah. She was
First confession. There it is.
She was gorgeous, man. I even tried to ask her shit. She's like, I can't, Jared, he looks up to you. I'm like, God damn, man.
God damn.
I said, I hope you come on, don't look up to me, man. So I don't know. We came to your house. I don't know. It was in Palm Springs.
Yeah, 790 Gateway Drive. I remember.
Yeah.
Gateway. Yeah.
It was hot as fuck down there. Anyway, so I think there was an earthquake just before that when I came to your house. And that
was an earthquake. Then I lived not that far from the gym at that time, I think.
The Gold's Gym?
Yeah, not that far from there. Not too far. Anyway, in the city is not that far, but
yeah,
it was smaller back then. But man, I remember watching you, man. You correct me if I'm wrong, but you used to be fucking curling like 130s and shit.
150s I used to do,
150s.
yeah.
But the day I saw you did pick up a 130 curling that shit. I'm like, look at this motherfucker right here.
Tell us the truth, Chris. Now, when he left the gym secretly, did you go over and pick him up and try him?
Hell no. Never tried a 130
You
in
know,
my life.
so didn't you, when I if I can remember correctly, when I mean, this is a long time ago, man. I was like, what, in the early 90s and shit? Uh, uh,
Shit, that was in the 80s.
It was, right? It was a
80s.
long time. I mean,
80s, yeah.
Dude.
Late 80s.
you were just chilling back then when I met you with Jared. But anyway, I remember I think it was you, because when I came to your house, you were selling T-shirts, and it was shake and bake, right?
Before, man, way before Ricky Bobby, the Talladega Nights movie. You guys
Hey,
are doing
you
chicken
know,
bake.
when I was dieting, I used to love shake and bake on my chicken breast. You'd put it in that, shake it in there, and then you put it in the oven.
Yeah,
I haven't done
but,
chicken in so long.
yeah, but Chris was entrepreneur on the earthquake, shake and bake, right? That's what it's. When I first met him and he had these shirts going on, I was like, man, this dude he's got his shit together, man. He's making money on the earthquake. I like that.
No, it was called shake and baked. That's what it was.
Yeah, shake and bake, yeah, whatever it was. Yeah, you had those shirts though, right, Chris? Am I wrong?
Yeah. Long
You
time
did,
ago.
yeah, right, yeah. I was like, holy shit, man. And
Man,
I trained. We
dude, that
were
was some
training at the
days.
go. Yeah, huh?
But it was only a small crew of us that was doing it pretty hardcore for what we thought at the time. But
Yeah,
I
yeah.
remember you was there, and I think, damn, didn't Mike Quinn come up in there one day?
Yeah, Mike was there
Quinn down
too.
there?
Yep.
Now, I was looking at him like, damn, my legs same size as his, and I was like a little kid, but I was like, damn, I got him on the legs, but that upper body was motherfucking crazy.
Yeah,
That
Mike was
back.
he was in shape. I lived with him in Florida too for a while, and I
Yeah.
got to tell you, one night we went out. We went to Club Boca, right, when I was living with him in Florida, and it was me, Barry DeMay, Mike's friends from England. I don't know who these crazy bastards were. And I don't know. You remember that dude? He used to take acid and squat and shit. He was out of his mind, man. Yeah, I forget his name. Man. Dave
Dude,
knows his
sounds
name.
horrifying.
Yeah, he used to drop acid and like be squatting in the gym and shit, right?
Was he
So
just like screaming or what?
He was out of his mind. This guy, Chris Duffy, that was his name, right?
Yeah.
Chris.
Oh yeah.
You remember that dude?
To drop
Was
acid.
this before he went into the gay porn or after?
Yeah, that's the guy. Man. Yeah, he was doing gay. Yo, his old lady was grabbing my balls at dinner. So we were all hanging out at having dinner. It was me. It was Chris's old lady was here, and Mike Quinn, and we were all eating dinner at the table, right? And this chick, and there was like a cloth to hang, like a tablecloth, and this chick was under the tablecloth grabbing my balls. And her boyfriend Chris Duffy was right across the way there, and I'm like, yo, man, what
Kinky
the
stuff.
fuck? What are you doing,
Did
man?
you stop her?
No, I didn't. And she was just, she was just rubbing on my rubbing on my
reason he didn't.
On your Schizzoli?
The only reason he didn't stop it was.
I tell you truthfully, it was like some tonic thing. I couldn't help myself. Like she was rubbing my balls, and I was like, just stop. Chris is right there. What's wrong with you? You know what I mean? I couldn't help myself. Yeah,
Chris Duffy knew what was going on. The only reason he didn't stop was because as she was grabbing Jimmy's balls, Jimmy had his foot in Chris's crotch, tickling his balls under the table.
The dude was crazy,
like a little tickle circle going on under there.
Tickle triangle.
Yeah.
The dude
and
was
Chris
crazy.
Duffy tells the story, when I went out for Jimmy and my girl, Jimmy was tickling my balls under the table.
Hey, I might have been doing it. I don't know. I was drinking. Who the hell knows? You know what I mean? He was a crazy dude, though. That guy, man. He was crazy. But we all went out.
Didn't he? What happened to Chris Duffy?
I don't know. Yeah, I can't believe I remembered his name, man. That's
man.
Crazy.
He was about to be pretty big in the sport, and then he just like whoop.
But that was like, remember, what's his name was coming up and did that too. Bruce Patterson back in the day. He had a good physique, and
yeah,
he started doing the gay movies on the fire truck and disappeared.
That's the guy from Canada, right?
Yeah.
Man, I have a video of me and Night of Champions, come out Night of Champions, and he walked up to me in the video. It's from 1997. I got a lot of videos that no one's ever seen this footage. Like I was filming shit. Like I had a full-on camera filming shit back then. I'm gonna have to release that one day. You guys got to see this shit. Even with Bill Dobbins doing the photo shoots, him and Chris Lund, I was videotaping all that shit.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, we've seen a lot of good stuff. If people haven't seen it, Chris's documentary that Gary Phillips did, there's a lot of good stuff on there that Chris didn't know was going to be on there.
Yeah, I was pretty surprising. I thought I saw it all, but yeah, this stuff no one's ever seen because it was my own camera.
You still have it, Chris?
Yeah, I still have got a box. I got a box of stuff a bag of stuff that no one's seen this footage. I got to release that shit. You got to figure out the best way to do it. That's all. It's all on disc now because it was on those little Betamax tapes.
Oh yeah. Chris has stuff that can go on YouTube, and he has stuff that can go on Chris Cormier OnlyFans.
Yeah. No, I was walking around naked in the one. I was shooting with what's his name with Dobbins, and I don't know why who was filming me. I'm like, I'm walking like naked in the back of the damn studio to go get dressed and shit. I was like, damn.
You know, I gotta say, Chris, I know I told this story before on After Hours, but one night it was in Vegas, right? And I was with Scott Connolly, and we were like hitting strip bars. And Scott used to like to party too, you know.
Oh yeah.
So yeah. So I was hanging with him. He goes, Jimmy, you're my bodyguard tonight. I said, yeah, whatever you want, Scott. I don't give a fuck. So we were like all over the place, you know. And then we walked to this one club. I forget the name of the club, right? And we walk in, and people dancing all over, music going, right? Me and Scott were fucked up. And all of a sudden we you know, there was like these podiums you stand on, right? And all of a sudden we see Chris up there, right? and I looked at Scott. Scott looked at me. I said, yo, man, that's Chris up there? He said, yeah, it is. I said, he's in a white fucking G-string, man. That's it. He goes, yeah, I know. I said, yo, we got to get out of here, man. I said, this is crazy, right? So we headed out of there. You know, it was funny though, man.
What?
Seeing you up there, you were there.
No, that was C2K. That was C2K.
Where was it?
That was C2K. It was in Vegas, but C2K.
Ah.
That was after the Olympia, and I was supposed to meet Scott that night.
Oh, you were?
Yeah, because Paul Gillette was introducing me to him. He's like, man, you gotta meet Chris, man.
Yeah. Yo, it was so funny. I walked in with Scott. We walk into the club, and there you're on that podium with the G-string there. And me and Scott look at each other. I said, yo, is that Chris up there? He goes, yeah, it is. I said, holy shit.
Yo, needless to say, I didn't get that contract after that.
And they didn't even tip you $1. What the fuck? Yeah. They didn't even tip you $1.
No, but I was up. You know, the thing, you stand on it, it raises you up in the club.
Yeah.
And then and now I'm like, wait the fuck. I'm like a story or two in the air.
Yeah.
And,
I know. I remember that. I know it ain't like it was so long ago. It's like a dream. You know what I mean?
Yeah, somebody have photos of that shit too. I want to get those photos. I was in shape like a motherfucker though.
Yeah, you were. You were looking really good, man. But I tell you, that's like, you know how like some shit you don't forget, and you know, like during your life, and like that was one moment like I never forgot because it was like a shocker. You know, walking in, we didn't expect that. You know, we're coming to this big club.
There wasn't flashing lights out the front saying tonight's featured dancer, Chris Cormier.
No. We just happened to walk.
I just did it. It was just out of the blue.
Yeah, Chris he must have just jumped up there and started doing his thing. So when we walked in, when he was doing it, you know, me and Scott, everybody,
the whole industry was in that club that night.
I walked in there. That was funny. I'm like, holy shit! I said, Scott, is that Chris up there? He goes, yeah. I said, oh my god. And it was funny, man. You were up there, you know, you were like shaking this shit. You know,
yeah. And I looked down at the owner of the club, and he's like, yeah,
it's too late. It was too late, though, man. He was already up there doing his thing. That was good stuff, man.
That was crazy.
Yeah, that was a good moment.
Oh yeah, pants to my ankles only.
Yeah, I mean, you just had a white G-string on. So
it was underwear, brother. But I was doing it. It was down below my butt cheeks, though.
Oh yeah, yeah,
It was hot. It was hot in there.
yeah. I know.
I was sweating.
Oh man, that was good stuff, man.
Yeah, that was funny. I forgot about that. Shit.
Yeah, I'll never forget that, man. That was crazy, man. And Vegas that night was mobbed, man.
Oh man.
It was like a hot. I think it was like kind of in the summer there. I don't know. It was like really hot, man. It was and, you know, when you're
It
drinking
is.
and it's that hot, you get more fucked up. You know what I mean? So me and Scott were like wasted, man. There was a porno convention going on. We wouldn't hang out. In the
I
porno
remember that
convention.
year. I remember that year there was the adult. I think it was like an adult film. I think it was we were still at the Mandalay Bay, and I remember.
Mandalay Bay. Yeah.
I remember there was the porn convention or adult film star
Yeah,
awards
yeah.
and the bodybuilding on. And it was
Yes.
funny because when you looked at it, the porn stars would walk through the foyer and they were well dressed. The fitness girls would walk through the foyer and look like the porn stars.
I'll never forget that. You're right, Lee, because they had
Yeah.
it was like side by side. They
Yeah.
had the bodybuilding convention and the porno convention at the same time.
And here's the
I
funny
remember that
thing.
year.
I heard some of the fitness girls, and because we only had fitness back then and just the women's bodybuilding, I heard some of them saying, "Oh, look at these girls, they're whores," and that. I'm thinking, really? They're actually doing it for money. You're fucking a guy at the expo for a tub of protein and hope they get on the magazine, you fucking whore. At least they're getting paid to do it.
Yeah.
That's a
I
hell of
remember
a
that.
year.
I
Talking
remember
about
that.
bodybuilding. And was that in the 80s still?
No,
that
that
was
was,
in
no.
the 90s, probably.
Nice.
that was that's when I took third in Olympia that year.
Oh shit.
And then
That was the 90s, right, Chris?
I was celebrating, basically celebrating. I had like 15 people with me, and we was going from club to club, just celebrating.
The
Oh, so
entourage.
that was the night me and Scott saw you up there?
Yeah,
Oh, all right. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
That was crazy, man.
Oh
That
man,
was the good old days. I think Chris still had I think he had a Beamer then, and Flex had the Mercedes.
oh
And
yeah.
if you were in the front room of gold, you always knew when they turned up, all you could hear was boom, 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 boom. Just these big bass subwoofers coming
Hey,
in.
Lee though, what TikTok wasn't that part of the nostalgia
Uh-huh.
of the that's where it all started, in the parking lot.
Oh
You
yeah.
come in with your car,
Mhm.
booming. Everybody's turning to look who's coming into the gym.
And then you knew if it was a new stereo, because everyone would be out there with the trunk open, looking at all the big speakers and subwoofer in the trunk. Or Paul Gillette had in the back of his trunk with dirty Perfetto clothes. I said, because Paul lived with me. I said, "Don't you dare watch." Paul's like, "No, I just throw it away and get more clothes."
Jesus.
Hey, what about this though? What the walk from your car to the gym? That was a whole nother scene than being inside the gym. But it was all a big. It was. I mean, I miss all that shit. But now they got all the damn equipment in that.
Well, I remember Flex would always just sit out the front. He'd never park across the street and wait an hour. Charles would be inside waiting, and Flex is sitting there waiting for a car park.
Maybe he had that old school car and he was filming some kind of video. He was showing off the car. It was blue and it broke down right there. It broke down in the street right there. So now he's just sitting
Chris,
in it.
that Gold's Gym in Palm Springs, you trained there, right?
Yeah, the owner of the gym.
He's from Canada, that guy, right?
Yeah, Brad Nesty.
Yeah.
They cashed out because they own all those gyms in Vegas also. Those gyms turned to the what was it, EOS or whatever.
Yeah.
All those gyms were his gyms, and then he cashed out and went back to Canada.
Oh wow, he did good for himself, man.
Oh, did real good.
I'll never forget when I was training. I was with Richie Barrety, right? I ended up so what happened was I went to California. I was staying with Jimmy Quinn for a little while, you know, and then Ed Connors took me down to Palm Springs in one of his condos.
Oh, that's how it happened.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, you know that story.
We did there when Jimmy trashed it, Chris. He trashed the condo.
Because I was there because I was born there, but you were transplanted in there.
So anyway, I don't know. I flew to California. I don't know, because Jimmy was out there. You know, I trained with him for years. So I was like, Jimmy's like, "Come on out to California." So I said, "All right, fuck it." I went out to California for a little bit. I stayed with Jimmy in Marina Del Rey, which is they had a really cool gym there too, man. And I was training. I did a photo shoot with Don Ross there. All this bullshit going on, crazy stuff, really good times. And I ended up going. I met Ed Connors, of course, and Ed took me down to Palm Springs. So that's what happened. So what happened was we stopped at Upland, California first. He dropped me off there, and there was a Gold's Gym there too. So he said, "Let me know how you like this place." I said, "All right." So he split. And he left me in one of his apartments there, and I went to the gym there, and I was training with this guy. I'll never forget it, man. Doug Stackley. I went into the gym. He introduced me to all these people, and he went over to, Doug wanted to train with me, and Ed Connor says, "Don't train with him, man." He says, "Do me a favor." He says, "Don't train with him." He told Doug. So anyway, I ended up training with Doug that day, and we were benching. And we were going plate for plate, right? And I went like beyond, right? And like Doug was trying to keep up, and all of a sudden I was spotting Dougie. I don't know, he had like 5 plates on there or some shit like that. And all of a sudden he was screaming like as he was lowering the bar, and I'm going, "Come on, Doug, come on!" I didn't realize his pec was ripping off, right? And I'm spotting, yeah, and I'm spotting him, and then I realized he was
Jimmy's yelling at. Push,
yeah,
push.
yeah, right. So I pulled the bar up with a couple of people, and he got up. His pec was ripped off, bleeding, blood all over. So I felt terrible. I went to the supermarket next door. I got a bag of ice, put a bag of ice on his chest, and I had to take him to the hospital. And Ed found out about it. And he got really pissed off at me. And I said, "Yeah, listen, the guy wanted to train with me. I don't know, because I went extremely heavy." So anyway, he took me out of there, and he took me to Palm Springs, and I stayed at his condo down there. And I ran into Richie Barrety. I don't know if you know who he is, but he was a martial artist. And we ended up going to this chicken place. You might remember it, Chris. It was the guy. So it was all bodybuilding went there. You remember that dude?
Yeah, I do. I just don't remember the name of it.
I forget the name, but like everybody went there. All the bodybuilders.
All the bodybuilders went there. Yeah.
Yeah, everybody. It was like a big chicken place, right? And but I didn't know it was a big cocaine place.
It was good.
Yeah, it was good. But the dude was pushing cocaine out of that place, man.
I didn't never knew, huh? Jimmy didn't know. Okay.
So anyway, I met this Hell's Angel guy, because these people were coming in with like suitcases, and they put the suitcase down, then they pick up another suitcase, they walk out. I don't know. And Richie was in the back doing blow, and he would come out, and then I started doing some too. And anyway, make a long story short, this one, I'll never forget, this one Hell's Angel sat down, and he was showing pictures of Vietnam and shit, and I was sitting with them at the table, and I forget, he had some nickname, this dude, I mean, this dude was serious, man. And he showed me his Harley Davidson, and he had a metal plate, like welded to the bottom of the bike, like steel plate, like a 1/2-inch thick steel plate, and I forget the guy's name, but anyway. So I said, "Excuse me." I said, "What's that steel plate for on the bottom of the bike like that?" He goes, "Well, I run over landmines sometimes where I go. Sometimes I run over the old landmines from the Vietnam War." I said, "Holy shit!" I said, "This guy's out there, But I'll never forget that place, man. But anyway, I ended up going to Zelda's. Remember Zelda's?
Hell yeah, Zelda's. That was like, see, that's what Zelda's. I used to go there even when I was like 19 and 20, because that's what I did for my membership at Gold's Gym. Instead of paying for a membership, I said, "Hey, I'll do a promotion for you guys in these different clubs around, like Zelda's." It was shit. What's that one that was up on the hill? It was like, they turned into a church now.
I forget the name too. I remember what you're talking about, man.
I just talked about it the other day. Zelda's, and then
but was it as good as Aunt Kizzy's Kitchen in Marina Del Rey?
Aunt Kizzy's little soul food right there. I remember Aunt Kizzy.
Now, actually, my masseuse, he is actually good friends with the owners of that, and he actually took me. Did you ever go to Doolan's down near Crenshaw?
No.
But that was like, I think the guy that owned Doolan's was, I think it was his sister or someone that owned Aunt Kizzy, something like that. But my masseuse took me down there. This is like where the riots were, down in Crenshaw. So one Sunday for brunch, I go in, and imagine this. Here comes this white bleached hair guy, walk in. Only white guy in there. Everyone just goes. I'm like, "G'day." And once I knew I was Australian, I was okay. So
did you go to Black Diamond Gym on Crenshaw?
No, never went there. No. Actually, once. I went there once, yes. Once.
Yeah, I went in a couple times. Yeah.
So anyway, Chris, I got thrown out of Zelda a couple of times, man. The owner, right? He threw me out of the fucking place, right?
Shit.
So one night I met these chicks, right? And they said, "Yo, you're from New York?" And I was at the accent. I said, "Yeah." I said, "What are you doing out here?" I said, "I'm just looking for a place to, to buy." I said, and what do you do in New York? I said, my father owns this big oil company. I was bullshitting him, right? I said, yeah. I said, I just come out here, look for a place, whatever. Anyway, I winded up going back to the fucking room with these couple of broads, and at Ed's place. And I hung out with them and shit. And then they brought some friends over. And before you know it, I had all these people at my house. The next morning I got up. I was so fucked up. I got up the next morning, right? And I was like, where the hell is everybody? And I went out by the pool. And all the girls were floating in the pool with G-strings on. It's like an older community, And I'm looking at all these girls floating around the pool. I'm like, holy shit, I gotta get out of here, man. So I headed out of there. I couldn't hang there with all the women there, But I tell you, I had a lot of fun at Palm Springs, man. I had a lot of
Man,
fun
it was
there.
fun. I was saying before, like Zelda's, like I would go and do a pose routine in these different clubs, before Gold's Gym, and talking about, get a membership here, blah, blah, blah. And I did that for my membership. So I didn't ever pay a membership the whole time I was growing up through in Palm Springs.
That's cool.
That was my little gig. But
Yeah,
I was,
that Gold's Gym was actually pretty nice. As a matter of fact, I think he just opened it when I was there.
Yeah. Yeah, it was brand new.
Yeah,
Because we were down the street at a different gym over like a little small, short, just a one-story gym.
Right.
And Bob Birdsong was in there too. Remember Bob?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Bob Birdsong was in there.
Wasn't he a minister? He was a minister, wasn't he, Bob Birdsong?
Yeah. Yeah. He used to always talk about, the Lord with you and stuff. I remember he told me to eat that orange roughy fish. Man, I ate that shit until I had that fucking oil coming out of my ass.
I got off the couch one day and I'm like, what the fuck's that? And I went, fucking fish oil. I'm fucking leaking out my ass. I'm thinking now, here's a tip. Here's a tip. If there's any gay people watching, eat orange roughy. It's like pre-lube. You'll be right. The only problem is gay people won't like it because it smells like a pussy. So that's the upside.
I had white pants on. I was like, what is that orange stuff going on my fucking pants? I was like, I had those white Peperichis on. Remember that shit?
I did that once. I took a dump and I looked in the toilet. I'm like, did I just shit out my liver or fucking intestine? But even when you sweat like your clothes, you'd be like, fucking fish smell on your clothes. It was,
sounds nasty, man.
Crazy, dude.
That happened to me.
I
was eating it 4 times a day. 4 times a day, it just kept coming out of me. I was like, ugh.
Chris, I ended up. So what happened was I was training in that gym when I first went there. He just opened it up, and I don't know. I think Jared was going. Yeah, Jared was going there. That's why I went there. He was going there with his old lady. So I went in there and I started training. Man, I was throwing out some fucking heavyweight, right? Yeah. So the owner comes over, and he goes. He says, "What's your name?" I says, "I'm Jimmy." He says, "Jimmy Pilecki." I actually didn't have the Iron Bull name yet. Don gave that to me later, right? So, anyway, he goes, "You want to?" I got Lou Ferrigno coming down. He goes, "You want to do a seminar?" And he goes, and then he goes, "If you do that for me," he goes, I won't charge. You can train whatever you want." I says, "Yeah, fuck yeah, yeah." So Lou Ferrigno came down that weekend with Steve Hannaberry, right? He played Conan in Universal Studios, and I did the bench seminar with Lou Ferrigno down in that gym, man. It was crazy, man. I did like 765. Lou was spotting me. He was scared. I got a video of that somewhere, but that's how I got in that gym.
Did you ever see Matt Mendenhall there?
Matt Mendenhall, yeah, I did see.
He was in that gym with what's the Rachel McLeish?
He was dating Rachel McLeish.
Yeah, she was down there too.
Wow, man.
Rachel.
That was a long time ago, man. Holy shit, man.
Man.
I remember it like yesterday, man. I remember one time Richie was driving with another guy. They were driving a pickup truck, and I was in the back, and I was making like I was chained up and shit. I was going to the gym. They was driving me in the back. I was like an animal chained up in the back. And then we got to the gym. I rolled out of the back, and we started training. That was crazy shit, man.
Oh man.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun.
I was watching the Jay Cutler podcast the other day, and Milos was on there, and he's like, "You got to get Chris on." And then Matt goes, "Chris was just in town. Chris, why didn't you go on the podcast? You were in Vegas very quick and took off."
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I was just going to scout out some spots because we're gonna train there next week.
Which one do you go there? I know, like whenever I go to Fit Club because the Fit Club tattoo on my arm because they put my photo on the wall, and Jay Cutler's got his picture. I'm like, oh, one up Jay. I'll get the Fit Club tattoo.
Oh, Fit Club. Okay.
Yeah, so Jay's not committed. But then when I got that, Flex Lewis is like, "Where's my tattoo, Lee, for my club?" So I had to go get
Damn.
I mean, Flex
Wow.
is like,
you're a wild one, man.
so I got to stop.
Yeah.
It's not your fault, remember? I told a story, Jimmy, Chris, and I with Sean Davies. Let's all go get tattoos. I okay, get a tattoo. We go in.
We're just coming off a tour. We're just coming off the tour. Oh, let's go. They all hanging out with me.
I'm sitting in a chair. Sean Davies is in a chair. Chris is like, "Oh, no more chairs. See you later, suckers." And he took off. He said he was hungry and just left us. So
I wanted to get one. They were so too busy.
And Sean got his British Bulldog and the English flag. I got the Superman, and yeah, he was
that.
a funny guy, Sean Davies. Sadly, like I said,
that was like your first one, wasn't it?
Yeah, 97. I got the Superman tattoo, and I said to myself, "I'll never get another one." What happened?
That's crazy.
Damn, that's what's up.
You know,
and then when I got the face tattoo, I know they're probably all going, "Lee's fucked up. He's got
you
a face tattoo."
You got that tattoo, or did you make it over?
Yeah,
did you go over it?
Still there. It's still there in the
under the gravel.
Yeah, still there.
Yeah. That's what's up, man.
Oh God, look at that, Chris! Don't look at that, Chris.
Look at! I knew he was gonna flex on me.
I'm not flexing. That's just I'm tattoo.
So, Chris, did you ever make it down to the FIBO that one year when we were down there?
With Metrics, or
with Metrics. Yeah, Ronnie was with us.
Yeah, I was there. I was with Weeder though.
Right, with Weeder. So what happened was we had a stage set up at the Metrics booth, right?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, the Weeder booth, we were doing so well at our booth that Weeder called in like the big guns. Everybody started flying in, Flex, Wheeler, and everybody were doing it. I think Paul Dillette was even there too. I'm not even sure. Yeah, Paul was there too. Yep. And that was cool, man. I was doing a seminar on the stage and then that kid from England was there, Sean something. He was crazy, man. That guy was big dude, man. I think he died like recently, right? Sean.
That's what I was just talking about. Sean.
That's the guy you're just talking about.
Oh, Sean. What was his last name?
Davies.
Yeah, that's the guy. Yeah. He was at our booth, man. He was crazy, man.
Oh, he was crazy. I told you about that when him and I were with ProLab. We used to just play all these stupid games and that. And John and Tom from ProLab were like, "Tomorrow morning, guys, we need you at breakfast. We've got all these investors coming in to meet us at breakfast. I got to introduce you to them. All people want to buy into ProLab." Sean's like, "Oh, fuck, I don't want to go. Do you want to go, Lee?" I said, "No." He goes, "Let's just go and make it fun." So we went there, and the whole time we were there, he was just acting like he was gay and I was his gay lover. And the two owners of ProLab were like, "What are you doing? Knock it off. This isn't funny." And Sean's like, "Don't be like that with my lover, Lee. Come on now. He's very sensitive." And every time someone introduced us to him, he'd be like, "Oh, it's very nice to meet you. And this is my lover, Lee. I'd like to introduce you." And the owners of ProLab are like, "Stop it. Knock it off."
Oh, no.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, we had a lot of fun back in those days, man. I'm telling you, that was the best, man.
Well, even Sean Davies, we went to Six Flags Magic Mountain and we were walking around, right? Group of young kids walks past us, steroids. I'm like, oh, I just laughed. Sean goes, "What did that kid say?" I said, "I just said steroids." He goes, "Wait here." He goes back. He grabs the kid by the shirt. There's like 6 of them. And, he's got that big English accent. He just starts swearing. "What did you say, motherfucker?" This young kid's like, "I'm sorry, sir. I'm sorry." It's like,
I tell you, Lee,
never used the word sir in his life.
It was like that at the FIBO when I was over there. Well, with all the fans and the crowds and everything, man, I can't tell you how many people I bumped into that had lists of steroids, man, to buy, and I'm like, how many? I can't buy this shit, take it back over there to the States, but like there was like a ton of steroids, man. Just
you loaded up before you left. You just shot it all before you left.
Yeah. I was like,
Speaking of steroids,
man, these people are crazy, man, over here. Shit, man.
Speaking of steroids, that's the crux of our confession, our fresh confession we got in the booth for tonight.
Oh yeah,
that's Oh yeah. Not to, we don't have to hop right in there unless you guys want to.
No, go into it. We can get Chris can play hear the confession and see if this person needs saving or condemning to hell.
This is our first honorary priest, I believe. Priest Cormier, Father Cormier. See what he thinks.
We have to ordain Chris tonight.
What do you gotta do?
All right. I'm going to read the confession, and then we will cast upon what we think.
Jimmy and I normally, once people send their confessions in, Jimmy's always nice. I normally lead the people to suicide, but it's okay.
So we'll see where you land on that needle.
Yeah, basically,
right.
Chris, when people write in their confessions, we elaborate on it. Like we tell them that it was wrong, it was right, or, it was indifferent. You shouldn't have done that. You should have did this. That's what we do, because these people write in, but they're anonymous, so we don't know who they are or anything like that. So they write in all this shit. They cheated on their wife. They ate the neighbor's wife out. All this crazy shit, man. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, I have no idea.
Right. And on that beautiful preface, thank you, Father Bull. Here we go. I have to confess to Father Jimmy and Priest Lee and Father Cormier, they didn't realize. I've recently started my first cycle of 600 milligrams of test and plenty of Anadrol and Primobolan. You guys hear me okay?
Yep. You started big.
Am I breaking up? Can you guys hear me?
I don't know. I hear something in the background.
Okay. Little faint organ music. I can't stop popping my cork to disgusting street whores and fantasizing about power fetishes with every woman I see. And I have to have conversations with the steroid-fueled side of my brain like it's a different person entirely. This goes vastly against what Palumbo always says, where he's like, it's not, it's your own personality. So if you're doing steroids, it's not the steroids, it's you. I've never felt so sexually aggressive and borderline violent in bed. My wife refuses to have sex with me anymore because I pounded her so hard and deep that she had a bruised cervix. And hold on.
What did he do? Did he bust her cervix?
Yeah, he pounded her so hard and deep that she had a bruised cervix and needed medical attention. Jesus Christ! Yeah. I find myself thinking of chaining her to the bed, using her as a toy until I'm. Yeah, okay, I probably can't read much more of that. Had to snap out of it. I asked for guidance from Father Bull and Priest Lee. How do I atone for my sins and steroid-fueled transgressions?
Well, this is not a sin.
He's a rapist.
Jesus Christ! Yeah, it sounded pretty bad. Yeah, sounded pretty.
Come on.
Well, what do you think about that, Lee?
I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna let you take it first, Chris.
No one wants to deal with this one. Understandable. Yeah, just realizing what I read. To be honest,
I just think he just got caught up in the sexual revolution.
Oh wow!
And here's the thing: if you take out the Anadrol, if you want to take out the Anadrol, you don't need that one at this time. All you got. But if she went to the hospital once, you might have to go there again. Don't put her over the couch, because that happened to me before, and she had to go to the hospital.
Oh damn! We got a confession from one of our fathers.
That's where you're gonna hit that spot. But if you probably have to tone it down a little bit.
Probably.
But I don't know what the amounts are. But if if you tone it down a little bit, you might get under control a little bit. But I feel you, because I was doing 10 competitions a year over the course of from 1980s up into the 2006 or 7 or so. So I understand this aggression you speak of, but I don't think it's a sin. I think it's the collateral damage of what you're doing.
Oh man,
Part of it. You just gotta know how to tone it down a little bit. That's it.
Father Lee.
Exactly. Because he already said 600 of the test, didn't he? And then the anadrol on top of that, and some other stuff. So I just hope
600 tests, plenty of anadrol and primobolan.
I just hope when he, like you said, he gets aggressive and this and that. I just hope when he hits her, he uses a pillow so he doesn't leave marks.
Jesus Christ!
If you're gonna
a
pump her in the head with the encyclopedia, put a pillow in it, whack her fucking hard so it doesn't mark.
I can't understand why we have issues with YouTube. God damn.
Yeah. Well, he sounded very violent. I want to know what area he's from so I can do a Google search if there's like in the neighborhood lately.
Yeah. Leave your phone number.
Yeah. I want to find out what's been happening in that neighborhood, because I think he's got that much aggression and he needs sex that bad. I think he's looking in other people's backyards for some extra.
Oh God. Just this muscle freak, just like
always
out.
Takes steroids and he's skinny. That's why he's angry and taking it out on his missus, because he hasn't got any muscle. So
I assumed muscles.
He calls it love. She calls it rape. It's a back and forth conversation, but
Father Bull, can you please make sense of all this?
I have to apologize. I have to confess. I got a phone call during your reading of that confession.
Oh man!
So I didn't. The only thing I really didn't hear anything. So I don't know what.
Well,
I don't know what happened. So
it's actually
summary. A guy takes a lot of gear tests, anadrol.
Yeah, go ahead.
Now he's horny and he likes the rough sex. He can't stop. He bruised his missus' cervix, and he
put his missus into the hospital because he bruised her cervix so badly.
Oh, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
You guys are crazy.
Yeah, but he did it violently. He did it fisting her. He was punching that thing.
We don't know these details. Okay, Father, at least some filling in the blanks is happening now.
I'm saying that's kind of normal, man. I mean, I when I was on 4 anadrol a day and testosterone and Equipose and Winchell V and anyway, what happened was I used to live down in Florida for a little bit when I was doing all of that there, and we used to go into the stables. I was dating a chick who father owned 8 horses, and we used to go in the stables.
Oh boy, have we heard about the stables?
Yeah, and I used to have her jerk the horses off, and I'd be doing it from behind while she's jerking the horse off. I thought it was normal, man. I didn't realize later on that I was a sick bastard. But at the time,
Jimmy fucking Dr. Doolittle.
At the time, I thought it was fantastic. You know what I mean? Fucking out in the trailers, with the horses, the full moon night, doing the whole thing.
I've been there, Jimmy. I dated a girl that had horses. I've been in the stables before.
Yeah, man. Listen, that's when you listen. When you're in a different kind of a level, to me, that shit happens. It does happen. I mean, you're going to get a little aggressive, and of course, you're horny as shit. I mean, I was very horny. I couldn't help myself. But
what's also good when you're in those moods. When you're in those moods and they're not in the mood, what's really good to get them in the mood?
What?
Chloroform. That's the best.
Listen, all I know is when I was younger, and I was doing gear and and training hard. I used to go out and party. That's the worst combination, is when you're out partying and you're doing a lot of anabolic steroids. I mean, that's a really bad
And
combination,
what else?
man.
With that, Jimmy? What else
you know.
was with that when you're
Because
out?
if you're not fucking, you're fighting. You know what I mean? That's how it was with me. So if I'd be in a bar all
It's one or
night,
the
man.
other.
If I couldn't get laid by 2 o'clock, I was kicking somebody's ass. Because that's basically what happened to me when I was younger. I mean, I was either getting laid or I was kicking somebody's ass. That's usually what happened. So needless to say, it ended up bad a couple of times.
And also, here's a little side note that luckily it didn't happen, Tyler and Chris. But Dave could have been doing a memoriam on Jimmy a week or so ago because Jimmy was not well.
Oh,
No.
what? This is the first I'm hearing.
I got to say, man, and like they knew what was going on with me, right? I had all kinds of hot shit going on, and I actually had an echocardiogram yesterday.
I had one the other day.
Yeah, I just had one
You're
yesterday,
not
man.
special.
Yeah, because sometimes you think your fucking heart's going or whatever. I mean, all the shit I did when I was younger. So I'm like, holy shit, man! I'm going to 65 now. Hey, I'm fucking gonna be checking out soon. So I went down to the VA. I had all EKG, all this shit. I had a little swelling in the legs. I was like, oh fuck, that's heart failure. You know what I mean? So, and then one weekend, I had a little incident. Thanks to somebody I know, and
Who?
Huh?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
We just had a nice phone conversation.
Yeah.
We were discussing stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lee and I were talking about the old days, with the, a little bit of the white powder, and the sex was unbelievable. When you're snorting, plus I was on shit. So, I was even more crazy. So, you do a couple of blasts, forget it, man. You turn into a porno star. You got the chick hanging out the fucking window, and you're banging her in the refrigerator when she's going to get a beer. You fucking, I mean, you're just out of your fucking mind. You know what I mean? So,
Are you saying our phone call led you to something bad, Jimmy?
It did. Yeah, because we were talking about it for like an hour and a half. It was like nonstop. You know what I mean? I was like, holy shit, man.
Waking up the ghost.
I got man. He resurrected the fucking like the evil dead, man. He resurrected the fucking dead, man. Without a fucking, I got fucked up. You know what I mean? Fucking Lee fucked me all up.
You're bad influence, Lee.
4 days after that, Jimmy, I did the same thing. That's why I went and got a heart test.
I was supposed to do after hours. Dave texted me the link. I went to the fucking hospital, man. I texted him. I said, I'm on my way to the fucking hospital, man. You know what I'm saying?
You can't be partying like that, Jimmy.
No, I'm 65 fucking years old in November, man. You know what I mean? I can't be doing this shit.
How old are you, Jimmy?
Yeah, I got to take it easy. You know what I'm saying?
You're 65.
I'm going to be November 27, I'll be 65. Yeah, man.
No way.
65, and then if you had seen him last weekend, he was like fucking Pacino in Scarface.
Oh man!
And he blames me just from a simple phone conversation.
I do blame you because we were talking about it for like an hour. I had to take a shit. I had to go to bed. I had to go to the bathroom. Like that shit, that shit's in your DNA forever, man. That shit. You know what I'm saying?
Near duels are you hanging out?
Stomach all fucked up.
Yeah, I was talking to him. My mouth was going. I had to take a shit. I'm like, what the fuck, man? We got to stop talking about this, Lee. It's going on and on. And after we got off the phone, Chris, he sent me a picture of a fucking mirror with 4 or 5 lines on. Like, this motherfucker. I can't believe he just sent me this fucking picture, man. That was the end of that. That was over.
Got him Jonesy.
Jimmy's calling up his mate. Do you have any?
God, I know. That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, who doesn't even know? Like, who are you hitting up? You get your plug in.
I still got plenty of fucking friends doing that shit, man. They're all out of their mind.
Jimmy found one. Almost did him in.
Oh my God.
I got some crazy friends over here. I'll tell you a quick story. I got another friend of mine over here down the street.
Keep it as little incrimination as possible.
Exactly.
So I can't mention their name, but he's a big partier too, but he's fucking, this guy's crazy, right? So anyway, he spent like, I don't know how many 20-something years in jail, in and out of jail all his life, So he robs banks, right? So I'm not kidding. So he knows how to do it. He
From
robs
cocaine
banks.
to bank robbing.
Well, he had to support his habit. So instead of work, he didn't want to work for a living, so he was robbing banks. So he knows how to rob a bank. He walks in the bank. He's got it down pat. He walks in the bank. He don't keep his hands in his pocket at all, because that's armed robbery. Even if you don't have a gun, if you walk in the bank with your hand in your pocket and you ask for money from the teller, that's armed robbery, because they don't know what you got in your pocket, right? So you got to keep your hands out the pocket, and you walk up to the teller, you say, "Give me all your fucking money," and he give you the money. So you don't get, you could get like maybe 10 years max with that, because
Are you telling me he successfully robs banks
yeah,
continuously?
he does, yeah. So anyway,
Tyler,
I think he's feeding you a line. I think he's feeding you a fat line.
no, he's not. I'm telling you the
Nobody
truth.
robs banks
Listen,
successfly.
Well, he went to jail, Tyler. He didn't.
He went to jail.
He wasn't successful at it. He did it.
Okay. It adds up.
So this is how crazy this dude is, right? Because we were all hanging out at the beach the other day, right? So he's going to his parole officer, right? And he got to his parole officer. He just got out, not too long ago. And he goes to the parole, and the parole says, "Listen, man, do me a favor." He goes, "Go grab a cup of coffee or something, because we're very busy right now. Could you come back like in an hour?" So he goes, "Yeah, all right, I'll come back, no problem." The dude left, robbed a bank, and then came back to the parole officer. They had drones following him, cop cars and shit. The dude robbed the bank while he was going to get a coffee. This is how fucking crazy he is. Yeah, this guy's out there, I mean, he's a cool guy. I like him, but he's on another level, man. You know what I mean? So my friend just called me tonight before we did the show. A friend of mine, he just called me now because he's living with him, and he says, "Yo, he just got a job. He's working at this place over here down the road. He's there a week." He said, "This sucks. Working for a living sucks." And they had a big argument, and he left. So he called me up. He goes, "Yo, I think he's robbing the bank tonight." He said, "Working sucks." He said. Oh my God! But anyway, this is the shit I do.
So he got a job as a bank teller.
No, they wouldn't even allow him. He tried to open up. My friend took him to a couple of banks to open up a bank account because he's trying to get his life together, and he's not even allowed in the banks. They wouldn't even let him in, man. They got like his picture and shit on file.
Well, you think they'd let him open an account at least? That way he can actually get his own money without taking other people's.
Yeah, with certain banks he couldn't go in. Right. Anyway, it's great. The dude's crazy, but it's all drug related, man. It's just no good, man. It's just no good, It's not a good lifestyle,
Don't do drugs, Jimmy.
That's what I was going to ask about the confession. My 2 cents was going to be just, I don't know, like look at your partner's face, and if they're in discomfort, maybe you're going too hard in the paint. But I guess if you're like, if you're out of your mind on these substances, then they're not.
Well, that's what happens, Tyler.
Well,
I mean, when I used to hang out,
you can't even see the face. You don't care.
They're bent over. I got duct tape all around their head.
Oh, wow.
Listen, man, when I used to be with my old lady back in the day, man, we were shacked up all weekend in a hotel room and shit. I used to stuff socks in her mouth, man, doing it in the ass, tie her up.
Socks in the mouth.
Oh, yeah, man. She loved that shit. The rougher, the harder, the better, they love it.
We're talking about a different lifestyle I'm not accustomed to here.
No, we used to do like a role play, right? So we used to get in the car, and I was all fucked up, man. I'm driving the car, she'd be next to me, we're doing lines and drinking and shit in the car. And then I'd go down some dark road and I'd drop her off, right on the street.
He always loves to tell this one.
And then I would take off. I go down about a quarter mile down the road, and then I would flip a U-turn, come back, and they should be hitching, right? And I'd pull over, and I say, "Where you going, babe?" "I'm just gonna go down the road." "Oh, yes, get in the car, man." And then we do the whole thing. It's fucked up.
Okay, Dharma.
Ridiculous.
I was
Did
young.
Did you drive a little V-dub car, Mr. Bundy, as you picked them up?
A little Beetle.
No.
Now, what I would have done was, because I would have been that fucked up, I would have turned around, saw her hitchhiking, run her over, broken her leg so she couldn't run away, then rape her, and then stab her, and then drive off.
Well, that's not what it was about. It was about sex. It wasn't about, killing the bitch.
God.
Yeah. Listen, man.
You weren't committed to the role play, Jimmy. You weren't committed. You only went halfway.
Yeah, man. That's
committed.
Back in the day, man, it was.
Could have left a son of Sam letter beside her and just driven off.
this is going back like in the 80s and, you know, the 90s and shit. You know, it was crazy.
It was
Very, very
perfect.
crazy.
There weren't many video cameras to film your actions back then. You could have got away with it.
Yeah.
I always told Dave, man, if we had these phones back in the day when I was doing seminars all over the fucking
Yeah,
place,
rap.
man, fucking unbelievable, man. The shit I did with and we didn't have these phones is a shame, you know, because I lost a lot of, you know,
No,
special
Probably,
moments of,
probably safe. if you
Special
didn't.
moments.
Safe
yeah,
if you
man, yeah, you know. Like, you know, like, you know, even like in Zelda and the pool and, you know, the Palm Springs, like I could have filmed a lot of shit. I mean, maybe I would have got in trouble. I don't know, but I
Yeah.
would have
Would've-
had a lot of fun, you know, filming it. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And you would have missed the moment.
I don't know, Chris. One time you did a seminar one time in Bayshore. I don't know if you remember that. And I was training. I was there too, and we met each other there. And you were like, I was doing something, the dumbbells, I guess, what I was doing, you know.
Hey,
And,
wait. I got the name of the club, Pompeii's.
oh,
Pompeii's.
how did you get that?
Oh no, it was good. It was messing with me. I said, I gotta get this name.
I
It was
remember
Pompeii's
Pompeii.
nightclub, fucking Palm Springs. That was the shit.
Pompeii, yeah, man. I love
Pompeii.
Pompeii. I remember that
Yeah.
joint. It actually had like a volcano out front the club, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I remember, man.
Pompeii's.
Did
Yeah.
Holy
people,
shit.
did people overdose in the club and die on the floor like in lava?
It had all glass walls, like you could see the city out right there behind the DJ.
Yeah,
booth.
Pompeii was a cool place, man. Used to get busy as shit in there,
Is
Oh,
it
too,
still
man.
there?
man.
Closed down? Is it
Come
still
out of
there?
there, man. Oh my God.
I used to go hang out in LA. We used to go to this club called the Mayans, right? It looked like
Mine.
like
Yeah. That place
yeah,
is good too.
yeah, really good, man.
But
And
yeah, did you make it to Roxbury?
huh?
Did you make it to Roxbury?
No.
No, shit.
Chris was always at the Roxbury.
Early 90s. Well, I was there 5 nights a week, dude. That's 5 nights a week, man. Roxbury was the shit. Did you go there? Did you go there, Lee?
I never went to any club. I was serious about my training, Chris. I didn't lose my shit till I was 42. Up until then, so the only drug I did was steroids up until that point.
Tell me this. Lee. So let's say I was at the comedy club in Palm Springs when I was like 18. I was bouncing. So I'm doing security, bouncing from 17, 18 years old, 19 to all this. I was bouncing all those years. So I'm in a nightclub. I'm up at night till 2. And if you go get something to eat, make it 3 or 4, right? Before you get into bed. So if you're doing this on 4 or 5 nights a week, I'm doing this as I'm trying to be a professional bodybuilder, right? Doing the same shit. I moved to LA. I'm bouncing in Roxbury 5 nights a week, winning the Cal, 4th in the USA, still bouncing 5 nights a week. Then I started working in what was the place? GNC in the daytime, still training sometimes once and twice a day, and then working at the Roxbury 5 nights a week. Got my pro card. Had that little mix up with Mike Tyson. Got my pro card.
Story where you had a bump into my
Yeah. He slapped me in the back of the head. So I turned pro and then got the pro card. But then when I would go out, people was like saying, "Oh, you can't go out." But I was raised in the damn club basically from 18 or so. I mean, I just didn't. Right. It was no big deal to me. Right. And then after I would leave the club, me and Rico, and then sometimes we go play video games and eat till like 5. Sometimes we go straight to the gym and train because we're like, if we don't go train now, then we're not gonna make it by 10 or 12, because that's everybody's in the gym from 10 to 12 at that time. So we were paranoid of missing our workouts. So sometimes we'd leave the club, video games, eat, and go straight to the gym like around 7 to 8 in the morning, finish that and then we'll sleep, after that. But that's where it always was.
That's when
Chris I did that with Jimmy Quinn. We did the same thing. When me and Jimmy Quinn trained for 20 years together, we were bouncing in clubs, all night together, and then we go get something to eat, and we go hit the gym. This gym called Venice Beach. It was on Lockfield Road in Northport. And we used to go there. My friend Glenn Morale used to manage it. We used to go there early in the morning, man, and fucking train and shit. Then we used to go to Rab's Health Club. We used to go there like 3, 4 in the morning after work because Richie gave us the key. So we used to go train over there too. I'll never forget one night I walked in. He had like a lot of black belts, running the place. We came in there one night. It was like 4 in the morning, and we saw the office lights on. So we said, "Who's in there?" So we opened up the office door. It was one of his black belts, man. He was on the floor like in convulsions. I think he was doing drugs and shit. So we just closed the door, and we went to go train. And we left the dude in there.
We just left him there to die. It's okay.
I was like, you know what? This is not our problem, man. We're here to train. I left the dude in the fucking office. You know what I mean? We found him like that. Hey, fuck it. So but he was all right later on.
We're like, fuck it. We got chest to do. He can die.
Yeah, right. We got to train, man. We got to do back, man. Fuck this guy. Yeah. That was a trip back in the day, though, man. Listen, man. I trained no matter what. You know what I'm saying? That's how it was back then.
So you just love to train. You just love to fucking.
Chris, I never missed the fucking gym, man.
But you was pushing it to the limit, though, Jimmy.
Yeah, I did push it to the That's why I'm crippled today. You know what I mean? Like my back is fucking killing me. Anyway, so but back then it's like I didn't want to eat. I remember I went to Aruba with my girlfriend years ago, man, and I had to find a gym over there in Aruba. I couldn't even take a vacation without going to the fucking gym.
Mm-hmm.
I had to find it, and I found this ratty ass gym, with rusty bars and shit. I trained in that gym. I didn't give a fuck. I just had to work out, man. Even when I was younger and I was in the Marine Corps. And I was in my early 20s, man. We were in the desert. We were out in the woods and shit in North Carolina. And I used to go. We used to find logs and shit. We used to train with the logs on makeshift bench press with this hand me the log. I'd be benching the fucking log. And I couldn't miss. I love training. I couldn't miss it. You know what I mean? That's just how. No matter what, drink it all night. Because I was always like a little bit crazy like that. But it didn't matter. I was always in the gym. So, I wasn't going for a pro bodybuilder, nothing like that. I was just like I was just this training guy. I love training.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at. I was like, man, you weren't trying to compete. You were just trying to just, I don't know, you're just lifting everything in the damn gym.
Yeah, that's what I did. I was just
everything.
Everything, right? I was just one of these guys that I just love fucking training, man. I didn't care, you know what I mean? Like I knew I wasn't gonna step on a stage, Jimmy put me on a diet for like 2 weeks because he wanted me to compete. After 2 weeks, I was like, fuck this shit. I couldn't diet. I went right back to the beer and the burgers and shit. I was like, fuck this, I ain't doing this, because I was losing strength actually on that diet. So as soon as I started to feel I was losing strength, I was like, nah, this ain't for me, man. You know what I mean? I got to get back on what I was doing. And that was just my thing. It was just, I pushed a lot of weight, trained all over the place. I couldn't miss it no matter what. 6 days a week I was going at it. You know what I mean? Nonstop. So I love it.
Does it annoy you, Chris, now when you see, this is just off topic, but it frustrates me now when I see these young kids in bodybuilding doing one show a year, then they say, I'm taking a year off to put size on. I'm going to take this off. I'm like, you're in your prime. Why are you taking all this time off? Just compete. I think even back in when we were competing, I think we did minimum 3 or 4 shows a year. That one time, if you did the tour, there was another 10 shows or so, 7 shows.
Yeah. So
now I was taking years off.
But don't you think some of it, like they're playing like a win and lose ratio in their head or some shit? Like
I don't know. Because sometimes I see
afraid to lose a show or some shit like that, or what?
I don't know. Because sometimes I saw that latest one with Antonio was talking about he was going to take time off and not do the Olympia like 4 weeks out. He says he's not doing it, but his coach did most of the talking. They said health, but then he said his health wasn't that bad. I'm like, if you're 4 weeks out,
he said his health is no problem.
Yeah, that's what I mean. If you're 4 weeks out, why wouldn't you do it? Because he's got great shape. In condition, I think he could crack the top 10.
But here's the kicker. You're never going to be that big. You're a small guy.
Mm-hmm.
So why don't you just do the Dexter thing and just try to get cut, use your body. You have a great body. Yeah. So you're never going to be big enough
No.
ever.
And the thing is, he's got beautiful shape, and he come in condition. I think he's going to he'll look great up there. And what gets me is it's the opportunity to do the Olympia. You know,
You're not going to be Samson. You're not going to be big as Samson ever,
no
matter what you do. You're never going to be as big as a Nick or some of these guys.
Mhm.
So just play your own game
Yeah.
and do your own thing for your physique. Like, Lee, like you wasn't the biggest guy up there, but you were beating big guys all the time.
Mhm.
So whatever bells and whistles he has genetically, use the hell out of that and do your thing and just compete. But I would compete every year just because I want to see how good I am at this point, how good I am at the next point. Some don't work, do it again. Because you know what? One of these days, Lee, it's gonna all go away, and just like that.
And that's the thing I'm worried about. That's what
I have no more career, no more clapping, no more none of that shit. And then that's when the real game starts. Like, what did you accomplish and what did you finish in your career? Because we never stopped when we thought we were going to stop, right?
No.
And that's the thing.
Here's an opportunity. He's going to miss the Olympia. He could, like I said, get top 10. And let touch wood, nothing bad happens. But just say next year training, he tears a pec or does something. It's like you're letting opportunities go past where he could be on the Olympia stage.
You can walk off a curb and tear your ACL. So, like, come on, man. You got to, I don't know. I know it's been some videos going about the situation with him, with his health.
Yeah, it's all a learning experience. The more shows you do, you learn more. You learn how much you can carb up water. You learn everything. And you get that. That's why when Nick come on the scene, then Nick done well. He goes, I'm taking a year off. I'm like, why? You're 25. Why take a year off? Get out there and compete. It's like,
I did 7 shows in a row when I was 18, just because I wanted to get up there and understand what I need to do, what happens, whatever I need to do, how I need to do it, what type of look I'm going for. And I did the same, in the professional ranks. After a while, I started reeling off 10 and 11. And
did you find too, the more shows you did, it's like even when we used to have the IRONMAG, then the Arnold, then the San Francisco, I always found the more you stayed like in shape with those shows, each show you got a little bit better. You got a little bit better, whether it's from the posing, the photo shoots in between. Each show you sort of got a little bit better the more you did.
And sometimes, Lee, some of those shows be your best look. It'd be a fuller, drier look than you had when you thought you were going to nail your condition and nail that show. Then you find after you fill out a little bit more, you probably have a better look than you had when you thought you were going to be your best.
Exactly. What I always found get ready for shows, I like a lot of guys do now. Physically training, I loved it. Cardio didn't bother me, but mentally, just the mental side was the head games. You could go in that post. Look at that mirror out there where the light comes in at gold. Yeah, I look great. You could walk into the posing room and be like, fuck, I look shit. I'm not doing the show. I just look terrible. Like the head games were the worst.
I may be on a Wednesday, but come Friday, then you're looking great. Just like a roller coaster. But yeah, you're right. Because training, I love to train. I love the weights. I love I'm comfortable sweating and working cardio fine, all that stuff. Feeling the pressure that you put on yourself.
Oh yeah.
Also, that.
There I am.
So
well, back then too, we had the pressure too, because back then it was like magazines.
Shit.
Supplement.
You got to do this each year. Now I got to prove myself again the next year.
And our placings, you're like, I did really good. My next contract's going to be a bit bigger. I'm going to sign for another year. We had all that pressure.
Lee, Chris, I got to ask you a question. So, did you ever go to the gym and like bring a notepad and a pen and like jot down what you did yesterday and today? And
no, I didn't.
Huh?
When I was younger, I used to always do that. Yeah.
I didn't.
So what was when you were doing it? What was the pad for? Was it, like you push so much weight on Tuesday and you tried to like outdo that on
how much calories you took? But I don't know.
Mine was more for food. I did mine more for food than actual training, because training I could remember, but the food I'd write down, the carbs and this and that. Then I could know how it made me feel on those days. But generally, I just kept in my head. But yeah.
So I used to, when I used to go to the gym back in the day, I still go to the gym, but I mean, like when I was training heavier, I used to meet these kids, and they used to have the little notepad, and they wrote down, they had like light days and heavy days, right? Like light weeks and heavy weeks, like. So I used to look at the kids, and I said, wait a minute, what are you doing here? He says, I'm benching today. I'm only going to bench up to 2.25 or something like that because it's my light day. So I never understood that. I said, listen,
I never.
there's no such thing as a light day and a heavy day, bro. I says, you train balls out every day because your body's going to dictate what you're going to
Hmm.
do that day anyway. You know what I mean? So you might not be, listen. So you're going to max out no matter what. So even if you had a shit day on a bench, it's still your max for that day because you couldn't do anymore. You know what I mean? So so if you're having a light day, you might have been able to bench even more, but because you went light, you didn't do it, so you missed out on, you could have went heavier. You know what I mean? So I never
So
understood the light day and the heavy day. And I used
I,
to just tell everybody, look, just go balls out every fucking day,
but
man. You
Jimmy,
know?
the thing is, here's one thing I did. Actually, I did. I had a magazine come out, and it had like all the charts of all the body parts, and I did that. Shit lasted for about a week, and I was done. That was like, no, I can't do it. But I do understand recuperation, and it comes to pushing the body, and then the time you relax and you
Right,
don't push. So that's that's when the body grows. Is recuperational time, right? So
right. Well, that's when
I
you take.
remember,
That's when you take off, right?
yeah. So when I was pushing the shit out of my body, trying to make my legs grow, I'm doing, 30s and 40s with 315. I was pushing, and then I had this one chick that I wanted her. I wanted her so bad. I remember she walked by, and I turned to talk to her. When I when I had the bar in my back, I was like, I was like, because this is 315. I'm like, oh, I could double this. Like, I could be all cocky. I went to talk to her, and I fell down because my bodies went
Oh man.
tore, tore up my damn L4, L5, and then I'm on
Oh,
the ground for
Oh
like
no!
an hour or something. I couldn't get up.
oh, that sucks.
In
I
front
did
of
get
the girl, all of
I
this.
did get the girl. I did get
You
the
did?
girl. I did. I did. That was
You,
my first Playboy looking physique on the female. Had to
So
have it.
how
I,
did that work
I,
out? Still,
Well, the thing is, I'm still jacked up from that one. That L4, I got the fuse now. But the thing is, though, when I was laying on the couch, those 2 weeks, I was on the couch for 2 weeks, could not move at all, and I
that
was walking
sucks.
like an old man. I was like totally bent over like this trying to walk. It was bad. And but my legs grew like an inch and a half within that 2 weeks of being
Because
on
you
the couch,
rested. Because you rested.
just because of the resting and pushing. And then when I read, like I said, it was like 2 weeks, man. It was crazy. But that's when I understood, recuperation is going to help me a lot. You feel like you really want to get in the gym, but that recuperation is where you're going to grow.
Well, I agree with you, Chris. So the thing I was talking about was these kids would do a heavy day or a heavy week and then a light week and all that. So I
They'd
didn't
have it
agree
planned,
with that, huh?
they'd have it planned out. Yeah, because when I used to train with Tom Platts, I was very much like him, instinctive. Like I would always try and go as heavy as I could, but like you said, I'd let my body dictate how I was going to go. If I got to a certain
Absolutely.
weight, if I
Right.
got to a certain weight and I couldn't push the same weight, I'd go a bit lighter. But I never planned a light day or stuff like that. It just
No.
happened. If you just go to do something, you're like, today's not the day
Yeah,
to really.
not to pay for it. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's what I used to tell the people. Like I said, so because they would say, "Oh, I had a shitty day. I couldn't do this. I couldn't do." I said, "No, you didn't have a shitty day. You had a good day because you still maxed out. Even though you couldn't do what you did last week, you still maxed out, even though you couldn't do it. You understand? That's what I used to try to tell people. And the recuperation thing is when I trained 6 days a week like a fucking animal. Sometimes I would say fuck it, and I would rest 3, 4 days. And I got to be honest with you, in those 3 or 4 days, I would grow and get stronger. And when I went back to the gym after a 3 or 4 day rest, I found that I was even stronger, because I healed 100%, because you're pounding the body all the time, you know what I mean? But when you do that recuperation period, you really heal up, and you definitely grow with that recuperation.
Did you ever look around the gym though, any of us, when you were having your lighter day because you couldn't go heavy, and mentally you feel like, say it's the dumbbells when Gold's had the 180s and you could do the 180s, but then that one day you get the 140, you're like, fuck, they're heavy today, and you're just doing the 140s and you feel a bit depressed, but then you put them down, you look around the gym and go, that's okay, I'm still lifting heavier than these fuckers anyway.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, listen, man, I don't know. I think, you can get lifting to almost a science. Like, you got to get to know your body, you know what I mean? And you get to know your body through lifting, and that's what I did, man. I trained hard, even though I partied, most of my career. But I mean, listen, I wasn't a pro bodybuilder, but I was on a lot of contracts, man. I mean, I did very well for myself.
When did you go back to the East Coast? I didn't remember when you just went back.
I would say probably a couple of years after I met you, I headed back to the East Coast.
When the state of California asked him to leave.
Ed Connors was mad at me for a long time. He said,
crashed the house before.
Do you remember that story, Chris? Or no.
No.
Yeah,
that wasn't when Matarazzo was around there at that time.
Yeah, Mike Matarazzo was around. Yeah.
Bless his heart.
I know. I love it.
What happened with the trash in the place?
Ed would tell the stories about Mike and Sandy Rinaldi having their fights.
Oh yeah.
Was it Sandy Rinaldi or no? Was it her?
No, Sandy Riddell.
Yeah, Sandy Riddell. I mean, yeah.
Sandy Riddell.
They would have their big blues, and she was a big girl, and she used to give it them.
Yeah.
Is that the girl that shot her husband?
No, that was Sandy. That was Sandy
McNeil. McNeil, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I was trying to both of them. I remember she came to a show after the fact, and I was like, "The fuck? What the hell are you doing?"
After she shot the guy?
Yes, she was on. What do you call it? What do you mean? Yeah.
When you get released on your own reconnaissance, you got to go back though. Yeah.
Well, she paid money, but her and her family came to a show after that. I never forget it.
Did you watch that? I saw it on that app. You can get an app now. It's like another streaming station called Tubi, Tubi. I just watched that new Craig Titus movie they got on there.
Oh, is it? Oh, it's on there. What's it called? What's that show called? The app.
The app's called Tubi, Tubi.
Okay.
Yeah, and there's a new Craig Titus movie on there about all what happened. So
that's crazy, because I tell you, I was good friends with Craig Titus back in the day.
I was in Vegas at the time. He actually texted me like 5 days before that happened.
He's one of the first guys I heard about when I started at RX Muscle. He's kind of like an insane dude.
Craig?
I didn't. But we were training partners.
He was a good guy, man. I liked Craig, man. He was good people. Yeah.
Well, he'd have his moments. Like, he'd party and carry on a bit sometimes, but you never think that he'd kill someone. You never thought that he'd be that crazy.
I think
the fucking drugs, Lee. The drugs.
Yeah,
man, fucking, it's no good.
Drugs make you different situations come up, and then.
But I think on this movie, they're taking a lot of like morphine or a Nubane and shows them shooting it in their ankle and between their toes. They went a bit overboard.
They made it on movie, right?
Yeah.
That fucking Nubane was bad news, man. I was around when I was out in California. That fucking Nubane. A lot of people I knew did it, man. I don't think it was good stuff. The Nubane. You get addicted to that shit.
Yeah.
The Nubane.
Too bad.
Yeah, it's bad. I knew a couple of people that had a problem with that stuff, but I don't know, man. I was very close with Craig back in the day with Metrex, man, and I was shocked to hear that whole story.
He would have won. He would have made so much money. Yeah.
He was making money then when Chris.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But as smart as he was, he would have made shitloads. Shit.
I remember when I was in North Carolina, Kelly. I think she just won an overall. I was the one to give her first trophy.
Yeah, I met her there also.
Yeah, and she was about to move to California. I'm like, oh yeah, this and that, a lot of bodybuilders. And I remember her saying, oh, I'd never date a bodybuilder. I'd never date one. And then I saw with Craig, I'm like, uh-oh.
Craig
Yeah, I
used
knew
to
them
always
both
hold those after hours parties,
before
right?
they met each other. Yeah.
He'd be at the after parties all the time. I think Craig,
Yeah.
didn't he have a couple of after parties after the Olympia? Or?
Yeah, I had the first ones, and then he had a couple,
Mhm.
after, but I had the first couple of them in the sport. I'd take that one.
That's the one.
But a lot of people made money off the shit that I was just doing. I wasn't doing it for the money. I was doing it just for the fun of it. But you
I
know,
remember there was what's his name from EAS. One of the brothers that started EAS. He was at an after party, and there's some fitness girl too, and they were that fucked up. Like she was throwing up on the dance floor. They had to carry her out. And one of the other brothers from EAS.
That was Derek. That was Derek. Derek EAS.
One of the owners'
what's
names.
that guy's name?
Phillips.
I picture him, but I can't remember his name.
Oh, not
But the last
Phillips.
Phillips.
Oh, that was Phillips. Yeah, I'm thinking about somebody else. Yeah.
But one of them,
Oh, yeah,
he peed himself on the dance floor. I'm thinking, well, this looks like a great fitness group. This one throwing up, one peeing themselves. I think
he was out of Colorado, right? Phillips.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's when they had. I think everyone was partying then on the GHB and all the other stuff.
Oh, that GHB was crazy, man.
That shit was right there in the store. It was on Abbott Kinney.
Max Muscle used to sell. What was it? The blue one in the.
But what was that store that was on Abbott Kinney and Venice right there? What was that little store? Everybody used to go there.
They used to sell the GHB there, right?
Before, yeah. They used to sell GHB there.
I used to sell it at my store over here in Farmingdale. And then all of a sudden there was like a big call on it, like the FBI. They wanted everybody.
Yeah, they wanted that shit up.
Yeah, like you couldn't sell it no more. And
it was like, oh yeah, put you in a deep sleep. Like, oh shit.
Yeah.
So when you go to Max Muscle, then you'd go to the Firehouse or Kookaroo or Fresh to Go right near Max Muscle was always a good place to eat. But back then, there's so many people there. You'd always have Gregory Hines there sitting at Fresh to Go and eating out the front.
Gregory Hines, he loved bodybuilding. Gregory.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I got him on some of those videotapes that I was telling you. That's from the gym. I went to talk to Gregory Hines. There was a member Bain, Jeep Swenson.
Yeah. Jeep Swenson.
He was in. He's on the video.
You know that part is Bain. I went for the audition, and it came down between me and him for that part because Joel Schumacher called me up and he told Christian Boving, who had like a couple of parts in that movie, he goes, "Oh, don't tell Lee how close it was between him and Bain." But the reason they went for Jeep was because he was beside Uma Thurman. He was a lot taller than me.
400 pounds.
Yeah, so Joel Schumacher. So Joel Schumacher, to make me feel better, told me to come up to the Warner Brothers set, and he took me down when they were filming Lois and Clark with Dean Cain and that, so I could watch them film that as a consolation prize to me not getting
It was funny because I did a movie with Joel Schumacher. Me and Dave. Well, Dave didn't make the part, but we did Batman Forever. You know, with Jim Carrey and Tommy Lee Jones.
Mm-hmm.
And Nicole Kidman was the Wayne's boyfriend. You know, I filmed that movie. I was had a pretty big part in that movie. Man, Joel Schumacher was the director.
Yeah,
I was gonna say it was a whole lot of characters at that gym, man, from singers to actors. I mean,
oh yeah,
you always have Mickey Rourke, Dennis Hopper. He was always funny when he come in. Dennis Hopper, you'd have everyone.
Yeah, Mickey told me some funny stories before, man. Yeah, he wrote.
You're talking about the Venice Gold's gym. You're talking
about.
Venice
Gold's,
yeah. I met the guy too. You know Beverly Hills Cops, the two dudes. They were two detectives.
Oh
I met the one guy.
One.
Yeah, I met him in the gym there. He was training there. A lot of people really circulated through that. I used to train with David Paul. You know,
Keanu Reeves. Remember Johnny Mnemonic was coming out. I remember Keanu Reeves on the treadmill, and he had the briefcase handcuffed to his wrist running on the treadmill because in the movie he had the handcuff briefcase and he's running with it.
Yeah.
What the hell was that briefcase?
That's just in the movie. I can't remember what's in the part of the movie. So I guess he was just getting used to running with it.
Oh, I gotcha.
Wrist. But yeah, there was a lot of, like I said, Carl Weathers would come in. Charles train with some of the Lakers back then too, didn't he? When they used to train up.
Magic.
Yeah.
So I'm training Magic.
Even Lyle Alzado trained in the gym too.
Lyle.
Yep.
Man.
I remember.
And then what was the one the guy that was in The Godfather? He passed away, but he was there almost every day. What's the guy that was Sonny in the Godfather? His name was Sonny.
Yeah, another one, yeah.
Damn, what's his name offhand?
In The Godfather?
Yeah, he was in The Godfather. Sonny.
Not Pacino.
Oh, James Caan.
James
Yeah.
Caan.
Yeah,
I saw James my last visit there. What was it, last year? What's his name? TJ. TJ was training him still. And I just asked about him because James Caan used to love the Sydney Swans. They're like the AFL team. Like AFL.
Sydney.
I remember the time I was at the stop sign there, you know, where the Rose Cafe is, and you turn right to go to Golds. I'm in the Hummer, and James Caan comes over, says, "Hey, Lee," and he starts talking about the Sydney Swans. The car behind me beeping, beep, 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 beep. James Caan still talking, beep, beep. So the car comes around, beeping, and James Caan turns around. He goes, "Why don't you fuck off?" And the guy in the car, looks over with the window down and goes, "Drove off."
Yeah, he was a real one, that guy, man.
When I was last there, like he was training me in that little private room. I went to see him, and that's when he was so frail. He had the oxygen tank because he had that back operation, and they fucked him up pretty bad.
Yeah.
It was good I got to see him, but then it was like 2 weeks after that year he passed away. It was sad, yeah.
Yeah, I gotta be honest with you, Chris. I didn't even recognize fucking Venice when I went there with Lee.
Oh yeah, you won't.
Last year or whatever. How long ago was that, Lee? When we were in California?
2 years ago when the Walk of Fame, wasn't it?
2 years ago. Holy
shit!
Did you really get a black card from there, Lee?
Yes, I got it in my wallet, my VIP card. Yes.
God damn it!
It's a nice metal one. Nice metal.
How did you get that?
Well, the thing was, I went in there, right, and just as a joke, like they said, "Oh, it's this much." I don't care about paying if I go into the gym. I don't walk in and go, "Do you know who I am?" So I paid, and as a joke, I was just talking about being there, and someone goes, "Did they make you pay?" I said, "Yes," and because I said yes, everyone just started going off. So they kept calling the gym, and they were abusing the fuck out of the gym and the new owner. So when the guy gave me the card, he's like, "Lee, now can you have your fans stop calling me?"
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny. That was a good time when we went to California.
Press card. It's got VIP. It's a metal one.
Shit.
That was cool, man. When you got inducted there with the name on the wall. That was
cool. That's what I said. Here's my plaque down there on Venice Beach. You know.
Yeah, that's cool.
Don't mention it, Chris, next time you talk to him. But they came down between two people, me and Sean Ray, and I got more votes, so I beat. But I always said I'm on that Walk of Fame. People go there and they go, "Oh my God, look, Arnold Schwarzenegger's got a plaque. Oh my God, Lou Ferrigno's got a plaque. Who the fuck's Lee Priest?"
Yeah, that was a fun day
too, man. That was special to me, man. I used to go once a week when I was like 15. I used to go drive up there to Venice, get a photo, get a video. I mean, not a photo, but a magazine. Watch the guys train.
Mm-hmm.
Go down to Venice Beach, watch those guys train. Look over there and see where Arnold used to lay down and pump an iron. That little grass spot over there.
You find that funny how it brings back memories like that? Because, Gold's isn't the same as it used to be. But it's like I told people, even when I was back there, yes, it's not the same. Like Rico's still there. Rico still looks the fucking same. Doesn't look his age.
Yeah.
But it's like because you have so many memories there and the gym has changed, when you walk in, it's almost like when you hear a song or you smell something cooking and the memories come back. It's almost like when I walk into Gold's now, even though it's changed, it's like all those memories just come back, and it's almost like it's still 1990s type thing.
Still alive. Yep.
But I used to feel like it was like a buzz, like a zzz, almost like some type of energy you would feel when you walk.
It was like a spiritual place.
Well, like you didn't want to leave. How many times would you train after training? You'd sit in that little corner area for a while and eat, or then you'd go to the firehouse and eat. It's like then you'd come back to the gym just to talk to people, and then that phone would always ring near that front room. You'd pick up the phone. Muscle Man, muscles.
Oh yeah.
I think it was Lou Zwick. I think it was Lou Zwick calling up.
Lou's Wick. I remember him.
But we used to always laugh. Every day his phone would call and it would just be muscle man, muscles.
Man.
I remember seeing Gary Stridham doing a photo shoot there. I was there when Tanya Knight was doing a photo shoot.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was
Remember, I
times
actually
over
watched
there,
a documentary the other day. Speaking of Gary, it came up on A&E or something. Remember, what was that girl's name? The blonde girl Gary dated. She did that photo shoot with that guy, and he killed her up in the mountains.
Oh yeah. They asked Gary about that because he had dated her before, but she had a photo shoot.
Yeah, and that guy took her up there and like killed her, run her over, and
Yeah,
Chris, you remember Rick Valente?
of course.
yeah.
Of course. He's still there.
Is he really?
Does Phil Gogley still go in there? Or
Who?
remember Phil Gogley?
Phil, no.
So you want to
He
hear
did
how
well
you
with-
want to
he did well with his business though.
Chris? You want to
Okay.
hear how I met Rick Valente?
How's that?
So I was training in the Gold's Gym in Venice, because I was living over there. I was in Santa Monica, an area, and I met this chick, Lori, right? And she was cute. We started hanging out, and I was dating. Then I ended up at a house after like a week or so, and she had a little girl, cute little girl, blonde girl, never forget her. And she says, "Yeah, I'm waiting for her father to come because we were going to go out to dinner." And I says, "All right, yeah." So the doorbell rang, and she opens up the door. It's Rick Valente. It was his daughter. Right?
Oh shit.
Yeah, I was like, "Oh man!" I said, "Look at this shit." So anyway, we became friends after that. But I mean, it's like, I had no idea it was his ex, But
Yeah,
that's how I met him.
when I first started going to Golds to train, I remember I was like, okay, I started looking at how much money I had. Okay. I said, you know what? If I found this taco shop and I would park my car in the back of this taco shop over by Lincoln. I said, oh man. So I slept in my car a few times just so I could save more money for food. And then I'd go and train and wash up at the gym. But then I remember I'd go sleep in the car. I did that for like a weekend, a few times. And then I met a girl named Mimi Hitzman, big buff chick. I mean, I met her in the firehouse, and then I started staying at her house instead of sleeping in the damn parking lot of the shop.
She a trainer at Gold's? No, she wasn't.
Yeah.
What happened to the house in Palm Springs? What happened with that, Chris?
Man, we let it go, man. We let it go. My parents had moved. My parents moved out of it, and I was gonna buy it, but my brother was like almost like not a squatter, but he was like he wasn't gonna get out of the place, and it was like down.
Yeah.
He just paid it off. I could have paid it off, man. It's super easy. And then I don't know why I just didn't get it, but I should. But now it's worth like, just under $1 million, when it was like for pennies back in the day. Because my parents were there in the 60s.
You know, one of my first girlfriends at Gold's Gym when I was like 21, 22 was Florence David.
Oh yeah. Florence, I remember her.
Yes.
Damn.
Yeah. And then after that, there used to be a girl that trained with the Barbarian brothers. I dated her for a while. Her name was Sheila. Do you remember Sheila?
Sheila Black?
Yeah.
Do you remember what's her name?
Not Sheila Black.
No, not Sheila Black. No, she was.
Remember Honey Van Aken? She was from Europe.
Yeah.
Honey Van Aken. Yeah, man. I dated her.
Good size.
Yeah, Honey had the big hair, the big boobs.
Yeah.
When I used to train with David in the gym, I met his girlfriend. She was like Spanish, whatever, and we were doing back together that one day, and we were going heavy, man. His girlfriend says, "David, you finally met somebody who's stronger than you." I never forget that, man. And I was like, "Holy shit!" I can't believe she said that, But he used to come pick me up. I was staying in Santa Monica at this girl's house, and he used to come up, pull up in his Volkswagen, and I used to beat the horn. I came downstairs, and I got in the Volkswagen. We could barely fit in the fucking car, and we went to the gym. We trained. Well, it was a lot of fun, man. It really was. Especially.
You know who I didn't see at Gold's was he was always there. Remember that personal trainer? We used to call him Richie Cunningham.
Richie.
And you remember he was a baldy. He just had a bit of hair and always had the towel around his neck.
Yeah. Him and Fire Jacket Mike. Remember what happened to Fire Jacket Mike?
It's funny now because I still talk to Mike because it's
Do
like Mike lived with me, and the whole time I said, "Why did you wear so many jackets?" He's like, "Because I was training with you. I had to cover up and shit." But if you look at his Instagram page, he's never got a fucking shirt on now. He's just always got his shirt off. But you know, he came with me to do a couple of seminars, and we travelled. I thought, right, we're in the same hotel room. His bed's there. I've got to fucking see him without the thing on. Into the bathroom and have a shower and come out all covered in his jackets. I still never saw what he was. Always
That's
covered
fucked
up.
up.
Always.
Five jacket Mike.
Summer day had all the jackets on.
That's
Five
crazy. Man.
jacket Mike.
I still, like I said, man, that's what I used to always be with Kurt Miller, because I met Kurt the very first day I came to Gold's Gym.
Okay.
And Kurt got the shock. He's like, Lee, you want to drive? I've never driven in America before. He's like, it's okay. So we're going down Rose Avenue towards Lincoln. And there was a cop on a motorbike. He had a car pulled over. I said, watch this. And I went on the wrong side of the road, drove past the cop, beat the horn. G'day, mate. Kurt's like, what the fuck are you doing? The cop. He goes, you're inside the road. I'm like, I'm from Australia. They'll fucking understand. Kurt's shitting himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, you drive on the other side of the road, man. Chris? Who was the other owner of Gold's Gym? Was it Pete Kromkowski?
Yeah.
Pete Kromkowski, yeah.
Ted Kimber, wasn't it? Ted Kimber, Pete, and Ed.
Yeah, Pete he moved out there to Hawaii, didn't he?
Yeah.
After a while, but he would come every once in a while to the gym.
Yeah.
Man.
You remember that dude Tim Kenlap? Tim? He was a little. What was his name?
Kimber, Ted Kimber.
Yeah, he was a short dude too. He was very
Oh,
built.
you know, Ted Dixon, no?
Kelknap, his name was Tim.
Oh,
Kelknap.
Belknap.
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 Yeah, you remember him?
Talking about Tim, oh, of course.
Yeah,
He was a
Tim
guy,
Belknap.
I met him a couple of times.
He was the dude on Anabolic Mega Packs. He was a bodybuilder on there.
Yeah.
The only
met him
guy
a couple of times.
had a jaw like Tom Platt.
Tina Belknap and Tim Belknap.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
I
good old
met
days,
Tom
yeah.
Platz when
Keen on the front desk.
when I did a seminar, and believe it or not, I went to the Titan Towers in Connecticut, the WWF, and I did a seminar there for some of the wrestlers, and I met Tom Platz there that day, and there was Mankind was there. I met Andre the Giant. I had a good time there. Yeah, that was in Connecticut. It was this big building, WWF. You can't miss it. It's off the 95 there, But I was trying to get involved with Hammer Strength. This guy used to work for, a friend of mine used to work for Hammer Strength. He was a big dude in there. And I was trying to get in with them. The Bangles actually were involved with Hammer Strength. I don't know if you know that or not, but I tried to get involved with them, and then they sold the company out, and I lost that deal. But I tell you, I moved around when I was younger, man. Those days were different, man. Like you can, you mingled with a lot of people. You know what I mean?
No, I got to ask Chris, because I watch the Olympia TV sometimes with Tim Wilkinson and is it Tarek?
Yeah. Tarek,
Now, do you ever feel like you want to reach over there and punch Tarek?
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm like, he's being very disrespectful to Chris, isn't he? He doesn't know shit. He doesn't know shit. Chris, hit him. Chris.
Yeah, I get my licks in here and there, but he is funny, man, with that shit.
When I see him sitting up, Chris is sitting there being funny with his remarks, but in Chris's mind, I'm picturing him.
Oh yeah.
Chris is like, the camera's on. I need a job. Don't do it, Chris. Don't do it.
I know, right? I know. That's what I'm thinking. I got to keep my job.
Chris, back in his late 20s, would have been like, outside, motherfucker.
Exactly.
Back in the day.
That's a little bit of test. That's not being clean for years. That's why.
Back in the day.
That's like that time when at the firehouse, Chris took my food away from me.
He did?
Yeah, I know. I asked Lonnie.
That was a table. It was a table. He at the table, and I threw the table out the way.
Dave Karamanis and his girlfriend, and I asked Lonnie a question about something. I said, I heard Chris such and such. Oh. And then somehow I got back to Chris that I started this rumor, and I just sitting there all of a sudden on bed, dude, and my plate goes. I looked up and it's like, Chris is like, you're talking shit about me. I'm like, what? You better not be fucking talking shit. I'm thinking, he's taking my hamburger.
I really was just about to take a bite. You was like,
yeah. And then I talked to Lonnie. I said, Lonnie, what did you tell Chris? Why is he so mad at me? And Lonnie, I don't know. I'm like, did you say I started a rumor or something? Yeah.
Yeah.
This was right in the restaurant?
Yeah. Chris, there's like a video and then Chris is like, fucking then,
you know those plastic tables they had outside there? They're fucking just like
yeah, they're light. Yeah. That's crazy, man.
You're that right in the restaurant.
But then I think because when I told Chris the actual story, I think then he somehow found out. Then later on, I think it was that day or the next day, my phone rings and Chris is like, oh, "I'm sorry, I know, I just found out you didn't start it."
Yeah, we got past it. We got past it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That was different times, man.
So I did watch. Gary just sent me another preview of the documentary coming out.
Oh yeah.
Pretty fun to watch, and Chris holding up the photo. This is why I'm better than you.
I saw that too. Yeah.
You know I gotta fuck with you, man.
But that's good. That's like I said, because Gary is like the Chris Cormier documentary. If no one's seen it, where can they still see that? Is it on Amazon?
Yeah, it's on Amazon Prime. I Am the Real Deal. That's the
like I said, I did that one with Generation 9. I didn't think it was a great job they did. Then when I saw Chris's come out, so people who haven't seen it, it's probably one of the best documentaries I've seen put together. I'm like, shit, why couldn't mine be like that? So Gary, I spoke to Gary. He did the new one for me, and that's it could be coming out this month or next month before the Olympia or just after the Olympia. But yeah, but if you haven't seen Chris's documentary, make sure you go watch it because it's actually a real good one.
Pretty good.
Which was the one you sent me, Lito? Was that was the short one that you sent me?
Yeah, that's the new one coming out. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I watched that. It was pretty good.
It had like Paul, Melvin, Dennis is on there, Jay Cutler's on there, and so it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I watched it. It was great. Really good stuff, man.
Yeah, you were like 21. You got that pro card?
20, just before I turned 21.
So you weren't even you couldn't even go into the nightclub with that.
No, I remember
the nightclub.
In the codes, Jim, and then everyone looking at me like, "Who's this young white punk from Australia?"
Yeah.
Lee, were you more a power lifter when you first started because you were thicker?
I was strong, but I wasn't a power lifter. But I remember Kurt tried to introduce me to Jim Quinn, and Jim Quinn was training with Billy Smith at the time, and
I remember.
Like, introduce you to him, and he's like, "Hey, Jim and Billy, this is Lee from Australia. This is what they did." Yeah.
Yeah.
I went, what? Hey, no,
you're like, wait a minute.
The next day I was doing the 180s. They come over. Oh, wow, you're pretty strong. And this and that. And they got taught. It was almost like I had to have an initiation so they could see that I was strong.
Yeah, we didn't really talk to Lee when he first came. We were like, fuck that guy. Let him prove himself first, then we'll talk to him.
Yeah, because in your younger pictures, when you were young, you definitely look more like a power lifter than
you mean when I was bulked up, Jim? Is that what you're trying to say? When I was like 135, like 285 pounds, you trying to say I was fat, Jimmy?
Hey,
no, I'm not saying you were fat. I'm just saying you look more like a power guy than a bodybuilder. You
remember we were on tour and you just started. You placed all right or okay, but then you just started powering. You just started eating everything.
I blame Paul for that because the first 4 shows.
Your place is scored like this.
I think I got third. Like at the Spain and Budapest, I placed third. It was like Kevin, Nasser, me, and stuff. I think I got third at 3 shows. Then Paul got a third. I got a fourth. Yeah, but then it came down to Prague, remember? And then when we got to Prague, I think it was Vince Taylor or someone found a Chinese restaurant, and we're like, fuck it. We've been eating clean too long. So we got to the UK and we went to fucking McDonald's. And I remember Milos, because we're beating Milos, he was getting so mad and he was taking more diuretics, and he's like, fuck, you're still beating. But then did you see Paul and I? Paul and I were like third and fourth. I remember in Prague we had to go to that Uncle Joe's clothing thing at the store.
Yeah.
And I was about to go and Paul grabs me. No, son, because he'd call me son. We're not going. I said, why aren't we going? He's like, because Wayne's probably getting paid to have us there. What do we get? Nothing. So sit down. So I sat back down with Paul. NASA comes up. Wayne said, you got to get on the bus. And, you know, Paul sitting there, you tell Wayne we're not coming. So we didn't go. And from that point on, I think Paul and I were placing 8th and 9th.
Uncle Sam. It was Uncle Sam.
Uncle Sam, yeah. Uncle Sam, yeah.
I got one. He gave me a leather jacket there. I was like, holy shit. Uncle Sam. Yeah. Uncle Sam.
What did I say? Uncle Tom?
Yeah. No. I don't know what you say. Uncle John or some shit. Yeah, but they were big in Europe at that time.
Yeah. So Paul, I blame Paul for my placings declining after that. Because remember on the bus though, when everyone was complaining, well, first when we got to Russia, and Wayne wanted us to go to that. They want us to go to the restaurant. It looked like the mafia. You know, we didn't go for.
Oh yeah.
And Wayne's like,
and everything on the table. Caviar.
Wayne's like, they want to go to the hotel first. I think it'd be a good idea. And the guy's like, we go to a restaurant. Wayne's like, I think the guys were like, hotel first. And then the guy's like, there is no compromise. We're going restaurant. Wayne's like, okay.
Yeah. And they had the most expensive food you can ever imagine.
Oh, it looked like one of those restaurants.
We couldn't even eat nothing. We were like, we got to go on stage on this amount of time. We can't do nothing here. Like,
but wasn't the restaurant? It's like a mafia, like from the scene of a mafia movie.
I can still see the red tablecloths. I can see it in my mind. But they had like some expensive food.
You remember when we were in Hungary, Budapest, they gave us boiled eggs and all this shit. And everyone else, like I said, we're just getting fatter. Ronnie's fucking taking all these eggs in a container, and 2 days later, he's still eating them. I'm like, you could smell the eggs. I'm like, Jesus, Ronnie, they're probably off. I'm thinking he's got food poisoning. That's why he got so ripped and won the last show, because he was getting cleaner on the diet as we were going off the diet.
Hey, Lee, were you on that plane when I had the worst gas I ever had in my whole life? Were you on that plane? Nobody was sitting next to me. The whole back of the plane was all deserted. Everybody was way up there. I back there farting my brains.
I remember Kevin on the plane drinking vodka, and the more he had, his shirt was coming undone, his pants are half hanging off. The gay flight attendants bringing Kevin sandwiches.
Yeah. Yep. I remember he wasn't eating his food. He was just going to drink back there.
Yeah, and then when Ronnie beat him, he's like, I'm very happy for Ronnie. I'm like, bullshit, Kev, you sit down the back.
You was pissed.
He was so pissed off he got beat at that last show.
I mean, he drank with him in his room that night. That's that famous night they had together.
I bet he wished he never invited him into the room that night. Because But did you ever get, it's funny, on that tour, we had that thing, because, you know, Kevin would always ring up, can you help me this? Can I borrow that? So Paul says to me, Lee, I'll ring 3 times and hang up, and then when I ring again, you know it's me, not Kevin, because we're all dreading Kevin calling. So the phone 3 times and hung up. Okay, then it rang again. I'm like, it's Paul. Picked up. That's Kevin. Can you come tear me up? I'm like, fuck.
Can you come tear me?
I had to tan him. He actually got mad at me in Long Beach, right? We're at Long Beach, and I had to go tan him now. I got conned into it. I go into his room. This is the first Olympia. Well, I was meant to do the Olympia in 95, but I got suspended. Go figure. But then in 97, it's like, we're in the room. He goes, Lee, how are you going to do it to Olympia? I said, oh, I don't care. I just hope to do my best. And he just started getting mad at me. How can you say that? This is the Olympia. It's war. You're going to go in. I said, I'm a realist. I'm not going to win the show.
It's war.
Jesus, he's getting mad at me just because I said.
Oh, man. That's what that was they tested for the diuretics.
And they did that in 98 too at Madison Square Gardens, because it was so funny. We all had to do the tests, and then they said they weren't testing, then they were testing, and it was like Ronnie, when they found they weren't testing, you see Ronnie and Chad disappear back to the room, and Flex is like, where are they going? What are they going for? But then it was like when Nasser and I got back there early, the dressing room that Nasha and I went in, there was the tray and everyone's samples sitting there with the names. And Nasha and I are like, should we put fucking Lasix in everyone's thing and just so you and I are the only ones who passed the test?
That's crazy. Yeah, I remember Madison Square Garden.
That was good. It's
Jesus
like they were
Christ,
good
man.
places, you know, when they moved it around a bit. That was fun, you know.
Where you keep disappearing to, man?
Fucking, I don't know. I'm getting these no caller ID calls, man. It's knocking me off. And then
I tell you,
whoever it was doing like rapid fire. I couldn't get back on. I kept declining. I'm like, what the fuck, man? I don't know how these people know I'm on I'm doing my thing here. I don't understand it.
So who you got in the Olympias? Breon doing the Olympia?
yeah, Breon's doing it. We're gonna go. We're gonna go to Vegas next week.
Okay.
And finish out like at least the last
4 weeks this weekend away, isn't it?
Yeah.
Where do you train when you go there? I think I asked you before. Do you go to that torture gym or flexes or just move around?
No, I don't go to torture. I was gonna go to Evolution.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be the spot.
Fit Club's good. I can recommend Fit Club.
I've never been there before.
They got a new one now, but the one I went to was the older one.
Who owns that place?
You go in there and stand under the picture of me and Tom Platz and take a photo. It's in the leg room.
All right. Who owns that place? You don't
I
know?
forget the name. There's two guys that are.
You still got the Gold's Gym in Vegas, Chris?
No, that's gone.
No,
That's gone.
it's EOS now. And
That was-
How long ago did they close that one?
Oh.
well, no, it's EOS. They sold it.
Oh, I got you.
Do you remember that was a good Gold's Gym because you come out of that Gold's Gym on Flamingo. It was a Blueberry, that pancake place right in the same car park.
Right. Yeah, that was the one right there.
Oh, remember the Ironman what used to be in Pasadena? As soon as it was over, everyone would go to the Rocky Cola Cafe.
Yeah.
That was good.
My favorite ones was in Redondo Beach though, but then they moved it to LA and then after that. But my favorite ones was Redondo, man.
Yeah, that was good.
I liked it up in that area, man. Manhattan Beach, Redondo. That was a cool area.
Yeah,
I used to go to this restaurant up there, up Pacific Coast Highway. It looked like something out of the '60s. Like it looked like an old Chevy car. I don't know. It was like weird.
Oh yeah. I know what you're talking about. Right there, right where that corner.
Yeah.
There. Yeah. That was a great one. All the bodybuilders went there though.
What was that?
The best.
All the bodybuilders went there, but what about this? Damn, I had it in my mind. Go ahead, Lee.
Which one?
What are you gonna say? Go ahead.
I was going to say the best place for bulking up though was Jerry's Deli. Remember, I'd go to Jerry's thinking I want this, and by the time you undid the menu, it was like 4 fold out. You're like, But then I had all those pies and cakes where you walk in.
Did you eat at the the Marina Pacific?
Yeah.
Hotel?
Yeah, that
little restaurant there. But man, did you just stay there too?
Yeah. Gary was always eating. Gary and Mickey Rourke pretty much ate there every morning too. That was good food in there. That was.
Yeah.
What was that gym in Marina Del Rey? It was like,
I remember the old guy that used to own it or run it. He was called Joe too. It was right in the middle of the freeways before they knocked.
Oh yeah.
Marina Athletic Club.
Marina
What was
Athletic.
it
I did
called?
a photo shoot there.
Yeah, I did one there with Ralph DeHaan a few times.
Ralph DeHaan, that's who it was. Yeah. Right.
What was it called, Lee? The Marina Athletic Club?
Yeah. It's like
Yeah,
where the two freeways, like where you go onto the 405 and come.
Did they have a pool, like a pool in the back of the
big swimming pool? Yeah.
Yeah. I did a photo shoot with Don Ross there. I love that place, man. That place was
man
was cool. I'll never forget. I did a photo shoot for hours with Don Ross. And then I went in the back. I went in the pool, and I was floating around with a cocktail after the gym, man, because they had like a bar there. Yeah.
Don Ross, man, he was a character. That's
How many times would he come up to you in the gym when you train heavy and go, "Look around, these fucking pencil necks shouldn't be in here." And then if you get too close to him, they get excited. Always.
He always had his hands like this.
The Ripper. They call it.
Steve Neese.
He used to be a wrestler. The Ripper.
Remember Steve Neese?
Yeah, Steve
Yeah.
Neese. He would always come up. So what are you weighing today, Lee?
Yeah.
You want to step on the scale? How big are your arms? 21. I got
He
a
was
tape.
like, you write it down.
Got
But
those big
it,
Coke bottle glasses on. Could walk with that little
Steve
lunchbox.
Neese, holy shit, man.
Steve, hey, remember before
What about Jerry Fredericks
Terry Fredericks?
with his little camera? I'm thinking, you pervert, he's getting pictures of the girls bending over.
But
Fucked
Steve
up.
was funny because he would write down how much weight you push, how many
Oh,
reps
yeah.
you touch your reps, and he'll
He
put it
always
in a
did
map.
that like beach column in Muscle Mag. You'd have all the latest gossip going on.
Yeah. Steve Neese. And then he'd talk to you, go, but and he'd carry on, but you always say,
You know who I never saw when I was out there? I was asking someone, is she still around? Whatever happened to Paula Crane? Is she still around or gone?
oh no, shit, I haven't heard about her in a long time. Paula Crane.
She was always there.
I heard that name.
Yeah, she used to take photos. She worked for Muscle and Fitness, I think, or just did photos for them and that. Yeah, but
Yeah.
That's what Don Ross had, that column in the back, Muscle Beach News he had in the back of Muscle Development. You know, Steve Blackman's magazine. Yeah. He was,
Steve
he was,
Neese did one. Steve Neese had a similar one in Muscle Mag, or something like around something with all the latest gym gossip on what was happening.
Yeah. Did Art Zeller ever shoot you, Lee?
Yeah, he shot me quite a bit because I was always at World Gym.
That's right.
That's where I got that cover of Muscle and Fitness where I was leaning on the bar like
Oh,
that.
yeah.
I was just leaning on the bar and he took it and became the cover. We tried to recreate it, but you never can. That's why some of the best shots he got of Arnold were just the ones he was relaxed and not even posing and that. So, yeah, Artie would always – I remember the funniest thing. I can't remember how it happened. We're at the firehouse and Artie wanted an extra egg on something. He goes, can you put an extra egg in it? And they're like, oh, no, we can't do that. So we can't deviate from the menu. They're like, but we can give you an extra egg on a plate. And Artie just freaks up laughing. He's like, but you can't put it in the dish. I just want you to mix an extra egg in. Can't do that. We had the biggest laugh, and he gets it on the plate, and he just tips it in the bowl. And he goes, why couldn't you do that?
Yeah, they don't want to get off the menu. That's what it is. It's like.
And then did you ever go down to Sparky's frozen yogurt down near Shartsy's? That was like, that's when fat-free yogurt come out. So all the bodybuilders are like, it's fat-free, and we're just fucking eating all this fucking frozen yogurt.
Man, you know, I used to hang around with Robbie Robinson.
You'd have Hot Skins, Body Alive all along that street.
Oh, yeah. But I was gonna say I seen Robbie eat yogurt one time in my life, but I never seen him go off diet. Like he'd rather starve to death than go off his diet.
It's a shame. I was talking to Mike O'Hearn. It's a shame how Gold's kicked Robbie out.
I know, man. Damn.
He's like a.
That's like
has he been at the gym? He's probably been at that gym longer than Charles Glass, hasn't he, Robbie?
I think so. I think so.
Hot Skins. Remember that? Remember Platinum Everywhere? I won that. Yeah. Was that the?
That was Mike Christian.
And
that was Mike Christian. I thought that was Gary Strider owned that.
Gary had one.
Yeah, Crazy Wear.
Oh, Crazy Wear, right? Yeah.
I remember Gary. I'd go meet him for breakfast at the firehouse, and I'd be waiting a bit late, and then I see his big black Mercedes pull up. I'm like, what's so long? He goes, oh, just the lights and getting out the car park. I'm like, Gary, you live across the fucking road. Why don't you Can't walk.
Yeah.
It took him 10 minutes to drive a 2-minute walk.
Like two meals at the same time. You have like a bowl here and a bowl here.
And he wouldn't shake hands. If someone come in while he's eating, they went to shake his hand. I'm eating, bro. I'm eating. I remember the time. How's this?
I spoke to him the other day on Instagram.
You ought to ask him, does he remember the day we're eating and Victor Richards come in? Like, you know, a firehouse must be the place for fights to break out. I'm sitting there with Gary and Victor comes in and just looks over at Gary, just starts yelling out, your people killed my people. Gary's like, what? What? In South Africa, your people.
Oh, my God. What?
Where is Gary Stridham now, Chris?
He's in Thailand, yeah.
Oh, he's in Thailand?
Yeah.
Really?
Because you know how call me out the blue. I was on Instagram and out of the blue I get a phone call, so I pick it up and crazy fucking Andy Branowski.
Yeah.
Totally. I was just talking to Gary. We need to go visit Gary, and
he's always You see all the piercings he have in his face now?
I couldn't see. He had all that big beard. He looks like
Yeah, but he got like 50 piercings all around here.
That's crazy.
Andy.
I remember when he was in that movie, The Program, when that came out, where he played
Higher Learning,
and then Batman played Christopher Walken's son in Batman.
Shit, I didn't see that one. I gotta check that out.
Yeah, I think it's the Michael Keaton plays Christopher Walken's son in that one.
Man, Michael Keaton was Batman, wasn't he, Lee?
Yeah, yeah.
I drove him to Vegas. We went to Vegas for the weekend one day, and he was laying back in the seat, but his head was like in the back, hitting against the back seat, and his feet was on the damn dashboard, on the damn windshield. And I was driving. I was like, this motherfucker is like a full 6'5", 6'6", like full of it. I was like, damn, this motherfucker is huge.
I remember I drove, Kurt Miller, I drove him to Vegas and he fell asleep. Because when I'm driving, like, I want someone to stay awake and fucking talk to me. I get bored.
Yeah.
As I'm driving, I looked up and I went, oh, fuck, the truck's on the wrong side of the road. Then I realized it was one of those big trucks towing another truck. But the way it was towing the truck, like half the truck was on the tow truck, but the front of the truck was on the ground just rolling with it. So I fucking got right up behind it. So all you see is this truck right there. And I fucking beat the horn and hit the brakes and started screaming. Kurt Miller was like this. And all he sees is fucking truck coming towards us, which was really going that way. Just yelling.
Oh, I got
brilliant.
That same highway. Let me tell you real quick. So my son, he had just came back. I just got him back around 16, but he was freaking out being in California because they was in Minnesota for so long out there. I call it the woods, but he was like in Two Harbors, Minnesota for a long time, at least 6 years. Remember, I was away from my son for a while. When I got him back, then he was calling me. I had to go to Vegas and Olympia. He called me like, when are you coming back? When are you coming back? So I went out that night. So I'm all drunk. I'm all tired. I'm all, we partied that night. And then next thing you know, I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna try to get to my son. He was acting like he was like in dire straits, like he was just freaking out about being in California. So I started to drive back, and I pulled over a couple of times. I was sleeping. I was falling asleep during the drive, And that long, tedious drive on that 15 south. So I'm coming back. Next thing you know, I'm flying like 80 miles an hour. And then everything went black. I fell asleep behind the wheel. Boom! I hit the back of a 18-wheeler.
Holy shit.
And you know that bar that keeps you, what do you call that bar? That lady got killed like that. That lady got decapitated like that. I forgot her name. But
it stops the car. Yeah.
That's what it does, it stops the car from going underneath. I totally would have went underneath and been headless right now, but that bar saved my life. And I hit the diesel, and then that's when I woke up. And then next thing you know, everything was punctured. I couldn't even drive it past another mile, and I had to stop. And then when one of my buddies came and picked me up and drove me back to Palm Springs. But that almost ended my life. I was going at 80 miles an hour, dude.
Jesus.
But
how bad you get messed up?
I was okay in a Mercedes, and I was okay, but the car killed the car. That's for sure.
Well, I remember Flex's Mercedes when he crashed going to the Santa Monica. There, it was
yes.
That one.
Almost broke his damn neck.
Mm.
Flex lost a leg, didn't he? Flex that accident.
Mm.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
But he's still going. Flex is living in Vegas too, isn't he? Flex is out
Vegas,
there.
yeah.
Everybody's in Vegas, huh, Chris?
Everybody's in Vegas.
Man,
I like
Chris,
Vegas.
Chris, probably safer you stay in California. Take heed from Jimmy's story last week. You're not young anymore. You just can't go to Vegas.
What story?
The story you just told us where you almost died a week ago because you blame me for whatever you did.
Oh, yeah. I do blame you.
I know Chris is going to go to Vegas and he's going to go, you know what? I still got it. I can handle it. Yeah.
Still got it.
I'll just drink extra Gatorade the next day. I'll be
Yeah.
right.
Shit, I'm old, man. Damn.
I know. Actually, I'm actually going to be on. I think October 2nd, I'm coming on the Menace podcast.
Oh yeah. Okay. That's what's
So,
up.
yeah, I'm going to ask Milos, can I reveal something?
Don't do that.
I'm going to get him going.
So,
I'm going to say, Dennis, put in the heading on this, lead priest revealed something.
I'm gonna ask him, can I reveal something?
I'll push his buttons.
He was working with us too at Metrics for a while, Milos.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, we used to do a lot of photo shoots at Club Metrics back in the day.
That was in Irvine.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. That's where I got the video. I got a video of me and Chris Lund.
What was that stuff when it first come out? It actually tasted good, but then it got sickening. That remember the custard style?
Oh yeah. The little Metrex little bags.
Yeah, it almost tasted like cake bags, like the greatest thing. But after a while, you're like,
it was good. Everybody was drinking those.
Yeah, like it was like an actual, like a custard style pudding back in the day before any of this stuff come out. It was like, wow, this is
legit.
I used to sell that in my store, the Metrex, the vanilla. You put orange Gatorade in it, and it tastes like
popsicle.
What was that?
Like a popsicle type of thing?
Yeah, exactly, 100%. Yep.
Yeah.
Scott was the first guy really to come out with that bag, right?
Oh yeah, he was.
Yeah, that was very popular.
Scott would still be alive, wouldn't he? Is he still around, Scott Conley?
Yeah, Scott's alive, right?
Yeah.
I don't think he passed away. He was on the show with Dave. We did a show with him not too long ago.
Okay.
Yeah, Scott was. Yeah.
He still hang out with Larry. Larry was with. Wasn't Larry with Is that it? Who do you hang out with from there? What's his name? Is it Larry? No.
Larry from the show?
No, not Larry. I'm thinking of the wrong name. He was good looking back in the day. You still hang out with him now. The younger guy.
Hung out with Scott?
Yeah, and I think he was with Metrics. You were just with him not long ago. You go and eat with him sometimes. He's on the Muscle and Fitness channel sometimes.
Oh, yeah. The dark hair.
Yeah, what's his name?
He's from New York.
He's your friend. Seppi. Seppi.
Yeah. Yes.
Is it Seppi?
He works. He runs the Mr. Olympia.
You're talking about Frank Seppi?
Seppi.
Yeah, Frank Seppi.
Oh, you said Larry. I don't know who the
fuck. I got Larry Muscle Mag stuck in my head. I was thinking of Larry Peppy from Muscle Mag. Remember?
Yeah, no, Frank. Yeah, I ran with Frank for like 12 years at Metrics, man.
Yeah,
we did a lot of traveling together. Me and Frank had a lot of fun. We got somebody spiked out drinks in Louisiana. We were the Olympia was there actually one year in New Orleans, and
I remember that.
That's when it traveled around. It was in Georgia once, and then it was in Louisiana. And we Frank went out.
They had that Olympia at that place in Orleans that flooded, didn't they? That big convention center thing when the cyclone hit or whatever, Hurricane Katrina.
Yep. And me and Frank went out that night. And we went to this place, Felix's Oyster Bar. It was the most popular oyster bar in New Orleans. Mm. And we were hanging out, we were drinking and eating oysters. It's the first time I've had oysters. And somebody spiked our drinks, right? So we were like fucked. And we were walking on the streets, and Dave ran into us and he's like, yo, Jimmy Frank. And we were like, well, fucked up and shit. It was bad, man. Somebody spiked our shit, man.
You forget the Blue Oyster was a gay bar, Jimmy. That's why.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah, I tell you, another time me and Frank went somewhere in California. It was the Cow Harbor Day or some shit. I don't know what it was. And it was the tattoo convention, and we went there. And it ended up being like all gangs and shit. They had snuff tapes they were selling all this crazy shit, right?
Damn.
So this was in California. It was in San Francisco. That's what it was. We were in San Francisco.
Another gay area.
We were trying to go to
There's a
Alcatraz,
theme
man.
to stories.
Can you say that word? I don't know if you can say that word.
Anyway, so me and Frank tried to get out of there because it was getting crazy with the gangs and shit. So anyway, we got in a cab, and the cab was gay, the guy, the driver. I started calling him a gay bastard and shit. He threw us out of the cab, and Frank wouldn't talk to me. He was walking ahead of me on the street. I kept going, Frank, where you going, Frank? He's like, he didn't want to talk to me. Because that was our only ride out of there, and I called the guy a gay bastard. He threw us out of the cab. I'll never forget that, man. But that was cool, man. We went on a trolley ride. I don't know. You ever been to San Francisco, Chris?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we took the trolley ride, up those hills and shit, man.
Yeah.
And it was cool, man. We were looking
Did you
at
go
all
to
these.
Pier 39 down on the harbour where they had the Ghirardelli chocolate shop?
I forget what pier we were at, but we did go to a pier down there. And we were chowing down at one of the diners down there.
Pier 39 was the one that had all the big restaurants, and that it might have been that one. That was like
yeah.
You could hop on the boat and go to Alcatraz.
Well, that's what we were trying to do, but we kept missing the boat to Alcatraz because we were hanging out.
Surprise, Jimmy! Back in your day, you would have been like, Frank, we can swim it. We can swim. It's not fun. See it.
Yeah, me and Frank, we had a lot of fun over there, man. It was funny because I that time I called my girlfriend in New York to get us a cab to get the fuck out of where we were, and then finally when no cabs would come there when it got dark, Chris. That's how bad it was in that area. They wouldn't come there. So my girlfriend Denise at the time, she got a cab to come here, and he finally came and picked us up. And me and Frank were hiding behind this fucking thing on the street, like we didn't want to be on the street. And this cab came, and then I got in the car, and I started calling him a gay bastard and shit, and he threw us out of the fuck. That's why Frank wouldn't talk to me. Yeah, it was crazy, man. We used to go to the Hard Rock Cafe in Vegas. That was a fun bar, man. The round.
They got a whole new one now. A new
Hard Rock.
It's new and a newer one now. They tore the other one down, or they remodeled it actually.
Oh, really? Because it was called the Round Bar. It was like a giant.
Yeah, it's not no more.
Oh,
no
really?
More. Yeah.
Did I see, Chris? You've got your own supplement line out now or coming out?
Yeah, it's out. It's in the Middle East. Real Deal Nutrition, man. Real Deal Subs. Yeah.
Real Deal Nutrition.
Yeah, Real Deal Subs. Yeah, it's good. But I'm gonna focus on the Middle East and Europe.
Mm-hmm. No, anywhere like Middle East and even India, places like that. My God, the popular.
Yeah.
What's the name of it, Chris?
Real Deal Subs. It's like the same thing. Yeah, I'll had to hook you up with some, man. But it's good flavors, man, and it's I can come up with different little ingredients that I want. One in the different cup. Different cycles of nutrition.
Yeah.
But it's this guy, my partner in it, he's Middle Eastern. So he's got all the factories and everything. So the factories in Spain.
Oh,
and
cool.
That's where, so that's where it comes from. But I think focusing on Europe is going to be.
Yeah, I'll vend you some money, man. You send me
look at
my
that.
address.
There you go. Yeah, man.
Where's the Lee Priest Nutrition? Kevin's got one. Dexter's got one. I need to get a Lee Priest Nutrition.
Yeah, man, you have to leave your legacy, man.
Chocolates and chocolates.
I need that watch, man. When I'm at the I'm going to Dubai for I need that watch, man. I'll be at the booth with that on.
I'll have to get S-Force to send Chris a watch.
Yeah, send that to me, bro.
You know who I got a watch for? He talks all this shit, right? When I was at the Olympia, not the last one, the one before, or was it the last one? I'm at the S-Force booth. Sean Ray comes over. What are you doing with S-Force? Because before they used to be Swab.
Right?
I got back and sure enough, he stands there. Can you get me one? Can you get me one? I'm like, what are you begging for watches for? So I finally got him a watch. Didn't say thank you. Got the watch. He goes, thanks, and took off. I'm like, Sean always trying to get free shit out of.
Is that an S4 you're wearing nearly?
Yeah, this was like their new carbon type one. See, I got a nice bright blue one, a white one.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need that one.
Yeah, I like that bright ass color actually.
Well, what I'll do, Chris, if they don't have this one anymore, I'll send you mine. Okay.
All right.
Yeah. You've got my A on the band now, so when you put it on your arm will be 21 inches and white.
That's what I need.
Yeah, and I'm going to send you my address, Chris. You
Yeah,
me,
man.
me a couple of cans. Yeah, I want to check that out, man.
Hello.
Definitely.
Hell yeah.
Is there a solo?
Just the solo, thank you.
Like hard solo.
I'm talking to Jimmy and Chris.
Hey, Jimmy and Chris.
What's going on, man?
Put your clothes on.
What'd you say?
Put your clothes on. You ain't that type of live.
This is a different one, man.
She is funny.
Yeah, who's this?
Hey,
Hello.
I said hello to your daughter the other day. I wished her well and everything.
Oh yeah. How's that? When she was in the police academy, she broke one hip, had it fixed. So then she went to work in the response center, 911 center, the triple O here center. And then she was doing her nursing stuff and her other hip got fractured. So she went in only like a month or so ago and got it fixed. And then it broke again. So she had to go back in. They had to redo her hip again. The other.
Jeez.
Damn.
But the thing is, though, she's like me. She loves training. And even, when you get out and the doctor says, okay, go take it easy, go back, go light. I don't think she listens and she goes full on. So it's.
Yeah, man.
She had to get it redone last week again, the hip.
That's crazy, man. That's like a huge surgery, isn't it? The hip?
Well, as I get older, I don't want to go. I got to go get a lens put in this eye, like a permanent lens. And it's like even every time you go, and it's like every time they put you under, you're like, well, this bit of the time I don't wake up or whatever. It's not that you would know because you're dead, but I'm thinking there's fucking movies coming out I want to see and shit. I got shit to do.
Well, like you said, Lee, you're not going to know it, man. They put you under, you ain't never come back. That's it.
Come on. That's kind of like the most ideal way to go out ever, actually. So,
the ideal way to go is they tell you, hey, hate to break the news to you, you're stage 4, whatever, you got 6 months. And you go, right, 6 months to party, cool. The last 2 months, I got a fucking hit list. I ain't going out alone.
Oh, God.
With me. I'm going to be, because I'm old now, people don't remember me as a bodybuilder. I'm going to leave this world as one of the top mass killers in the world before I go.
Lee, they'll always remember you as a bodybuilder. Who you kidding, man? Come on.
So be nice to me, people, because if I get stage 4 and you're on the list,
got these Punisher fantasies.
I'll be knocking on your door.
Well, I'll come to visit you, Jimmy, to get the weapons. I'm going to steal them.
Well, you know what? We could go to my ex-mother-in-law's house together. How's that? All right. We can fucking take care of her. That old fucking head that fucking bitch is still alive.
God.
I can't believe it. She fucking smokes like a chimney. Fucking, it's like I can't believe it. You know what I mean? It's like how the hell is this woman still alive?
How many people do we know who smoke like chimneys, party, do drugs, they don't eat good, and they're still going? And sadly, in our industry, we take a bit of steroids here and there.
Sure, we take a couple
People eat, they do cardio. I knew a friend of mine, he ate religiously. He's one of those, ate very little meat, salads, everything. 45, has a heart attack. You think he's one of the healthiest guys in the world, did marathons. Exactly. And all these people, like I said, the ones that eat all the bad food are still fucking going.
I got to be honest with you. I got to confess, Lee. When I was partying, I felt so much better.
Hey, Jimmy, do it again.
Those days when I partied, I felt like a rock star, man. I was training. Like these days, man, like I try to be more healthy. I feel like
I was going to say, Jimmy, what happened last week then? What happened to the rock star last week?
Yeah, the rock star really hit home, man. I was like thinking about you all night. I was like, fucking Lee, I can't believe it. Yeah. I said, man, he's like the devil, man. He got right in my fucking head. So I gotta confess, man.
I told you, it was
definitely
like a thing here. Don't do it, Jimmy. Jimmy, do it. Don't do it, Jimmy.
Yeah,
Jimmy, do it.
you were doing that to me. It was affecting me, man. It really was, man. But you know what really got me? I tell you the truth. It was that after that whole 2-hour conversation we had about that shit. When I hung up with you, you sent me that mirror with the 4 lines on it, right? I'm like, I can't believe you just did that.
And that's when Jimmy went, beep, 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 beep. Hey,
Yeah. Yo, Mike.
hey, Mike.
I'm coming over, man.
Oh my God.
I told you, you'll go for hours, and the second you blow your load, it's almost like, I'm having a fucking attack.
I'm fucking dying over here, man.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
Oh my God, man.
But when I heard Dave on the show, he goes, in the hospital, I went, oh, fuck, listen to me. Jimmy went to party.
I know, because you texted me, you said, I heard they say you went to the hospital, LOL. I'm like, oh my God, man.
But I tell you,
Dave read my text on the show, right? He said,
I felt your
to
pain.
the fucking hospital.
I felt your pain, Jimmy. That's why 4 days later I did the same thing. I was getting the husk.
Oh my God, Liz, my fucking eyes are tearing, man.
I'm
Oh,
still, my
shit.
heart scan. I haven't got the total results back, but
Me neither.
my calcium score was 173, like mildly low. The last one I had 2 years ago. Now it's 70. So in the last 2 years, my calcium score drops. So that's one good news. I haven't got the rest of the scan that probably tells me half your heart tissue's dead. I haven't got that yet.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the results now. I got to see what happens, man. Hopefully everything's all right. My EKG was good. That was normal. So hopefully the sonogram was normal too. I'll find out.
So what's Chris got coming up apart from the Olympia, Brion, your supplements? I see you've been doing a bit of traveling too, though, haven't you?
Yeah, I'm gonna go to Dubai 2 weeks after Olympia.
Okay.
We have a big expo there, so I'm gonna launch.
I thought you just got back from Dubai.
Yeah, but that was for training. But this is gonna be like an expo for the nutrition.
Chris is a jet. I mean, you can't keep Chris. He's going everywhere.
I'll be going to Prague after that, trying to get some distribution with a couple of places over there in Czech Republic.
So it's just like a convention where you're gonna have your products. Yeah,
exactly.
I got you. That's good.
What's
and then
I'm asking a friend, has Jake Wood increased the Olympia money, or is it still the same this year?
It's gonna be increased. They're gonna have a lot of big things going on this year. They also gonna have.
Everyone was wondering because Arnold did the 500,000, and like, is Jake gonna match it? To me, I was like, Jake wouldn't match it. Jake would go a little bit bigger, or just go, "Fuck you, Arnold."
The thing is, if you got like all the categories, that's like you a million something in money already. That's not, you got all the damn categories at the Olympia, not at like the Arnold.
But I'm just wondering, like, for the Open.
Isn't Prague where they made that movie?
Oscar?
Yeah, right. Exactly, Lee. So where is Prague? Is that near Czech
Republic? It's like it's not
Beautiful.
far from Budapest, not far from
What country is that? Is that the Czechoslovakia?
Yeah.
Do you remember when we got under the contest on the bus, Chris, in Budapest, and all the hookers were along the side of the road and we're driving past them all? People were like, stop the bus.
Sonny was on the bus with us, remember?
Yeah. And all they're all like good looking ones. And people are like, fuck the contest, stop the bus, fuck the contest.
They're probably gorgeous too, right?
You probably don't remember. Do you remember NASA going off in the restaurant in Hungary because Paul and I were eating there, and Paul thought it would be funny. We were going to send NASA some chocolate cake. So we had the waiter take him chocolate cake, and he fucking flew it off of that waiter. Why you bring me this cake? You think this is funny? This isn't funny. And he fucking pointed to Paul and I And then Nessa stands up.
Yeah,
You two, why would you send me chocolate?
Did a guy come by your room with a briefcase?
No, I didn't get that. No.
No. The medicine man was coming around with the briefcase.
I remember the room in Hungary in the bathroom. It sloped down. I'm thinking I'm short, and when I take a piss, I hit my head on the roof. I'm thinking, how would anyone tall fucking make it?
They had the hole in the ground with the bucket of water to wash your ass.
Oh man!
Did you go in that one? It was just a hole in the ground to use the bathroom.
We're gonna go with Sonny Schmidt once. We're over in Warsaw, somewhere like that in Poland, and we went to go in the bathroom there, and there was no toilet paper. There's a lady standing out the front, and she wanted you to pay for the toilet paper. Sonny's like, fuck that. And he grabs it, and the woman goes to get the police. Sonny runs and takes the shit, uses the toilet paper, gives it back to her, and we take off.
Oh man, that's fucked
yeah,
up.
Man.
Those countries aren't those countries like poor, like on the poor side, or no? Warsaw and all that.
I think some areas you go to, like when we went,
just like anywhere.
Great. It was great and miserable when we went. It was like I thought I was in Schindler's List movie when I went there.
There was a guy that used to work for us in Metrex, Mario Putnatsky. I don't know if you remember him.
Strongman guy, yeah.
Yeah. He was from Poland, and I'll never forget it, man. We were on a beach in Florida. It was Bill Kazmaier, a whole shitload of us, And Mario, he couldn't believe the bench I did. He kept asking me about the bench, So they wanted me to go to Poland with them. They were like, you got to come to Poland. You got to come to Poland, because they have, I guess, apparently they have a good time in Poland with partying and women and all this other shit, Of course, I never went, but
probably safe if you didn't go.
Yeah, probably. It's probably safer I didn't go, right?
Yeah. Well, we better let Chris go. We've been talking for 2 hours 30 minutes. My God,
what happened?
What happened? Yeah, we've been on here
2 hours 30 minutes. Time flies when you're shooting the shit. Jimmy just got a phone call again.
And then yeah. Well, you know what? Okay, on that note, we'll go ahead and let Chris go, but then maybe he can school Jimmy on the fucking.
Oh yeah, I'll help Jimmy out with that.
And check
and Chris, thank you for joining us, man.
Out Chris's supplements. Tyler can put a link to your supplements in here somewhere.
Yeah, the Real Deal subs. Of course.
Yeah, sure.
And if you want to be trained by the Real Deal, he's very selective.
Man. Yeah, selective. I pick my. I mean, I just want I want it to fit. I want because time is very, very valuable at this age, as you know.
You can get me ready for the Masters Olympia.
Yeah, you gonna do it? Let's go, baby.
I've got a bit of nerve damage here, so when I come on the podcast,
that's okay. Everybody's got something.
I might have to go to that bio accelerator and get stems.
Yeah, man. They're gonna be at the Olympia.
That stem cell and this came like it's not a huge difference in size, but I can see it. And when I diet down, it might be. But I think I still got one more show if that came back good.
Yeah, well, sure. Yeah. I think you should try it. Yeah,
a
little bit of a.
Sorry, guys. I got it again.
Tell people, Chris Cormier.
I'll get you there, buddy.
That would be like Chris Cormier killed Lee Priest, getting him ready for the Masters.
I can see the headlines now. Jesus.
This is all because of the firehouse. He's kept.
He got him.
He's like he waited all these years, but he finally
25-year hit out on him.
That's gotta be. He waited patiently like an assassin for 25 years. He got him.
It's gonna be the title of this video is "Fond Memories from Firehouse."
They'll be like, "Give me back my hamburger."
Oh man. Well, okay. That was incredible, honestly, that we managed to have this much fun for 2.5 hours off one confession. So we're back. We're back, everyone. Get your confessions in there.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I come on another confession. Let me know.
I forgot what the confession was about. What was it about?
It was about a guy who couldn't control his steroid intake.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yelling his girl too hard. It was crazy.
Start smoking some weed, man.
Put her in the
Yeah,
hospital.
level off, dude. Like you're going too hard. She's not liking it, so you're doing something wrong. You know,
No,
like,
he's got to leave that bitch and find a chick that likes that shit.
Yeah,
That's what
either
he's gotta do.
you need to find an extremely hardcore chick that has like a steel pelvis and cervix,
Hey, Chris,
or
we
you got to
can-
take it easy.
all he has to do, Chris can attend to this, is find a female bodybuilder who's on the gear, and he'll be right.
Yeah,
Exactly, yeah.
You can't hurt them when they're like the fucking Terminator. You can pound the fucking and they keep coming back, and they keep coming back.
They'll be kicking his ass. How about
There
that?
you go. That's what he needs. All right, great. Well, fantastic. We need more confessions, so send them in, and we'll see you next time on the confessional. Cheers, gentlemen.
Does that mean we're out of here, Tyler?
We're out of here, Jimmy. Good night.